You might be thinking of kefir.
No. It's like milk, but I think it might have alcohol in it.
This must be some Turkish drink.
No, I think it's
crazy.
I think it's Mexican.
Horchata?
Yes.
That's not alcohol.
Yeah.
No, it's just cinnamon.
Oh. Still, isn't it like hot milk or something?
It's like warm.
Ew, dude. Fuck
the,
out of here.
The thing about real like village Mexican food is that there's always something a little off about it.
It's true.
It's also not milk. It's rice milk.
Yeah,
The traditional
okay.
is the rice milk.
Okay.
I think, right?
with cinnamon. Yeah, it's quite good.
Newcastle Farmers Market,
Yo,
baby.
rice milk on cereal is the fucking banger, dude. And you're not farting the rest of the day if you had like real milk on it.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No, I just don't like farting all the time.
Well, they say that
Everybody's lactose
Everybody's
intolerant, yeah.
lactose.
Because pasteurization is such a recent thing that humans haven't evolved to actually fully digest milk.
Gotta
Well,
get that
to-
raw milk.
Well,
Yeah.
to get on my former vegan apple cart, we're not cows either,
It's true, yeah.
so we shouldn't be drinking it.
we're the only people that, let's say, we're the only species that drinks some other animal's milk.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fucked up, man.
And
It's odd.
How do you get that milk? Do you know how that happens?
no idea.
They artificially inseminate the cow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, to make it think it's pregnant, so that it'll lactate.
Make it think it's pregnant.
I was like,
I might
or
be pregnant.
or be pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I'll just step up and fucking volunteer. I was like,
Which one's next?
I'll just fucking go down on one, dude.
Go down.
Get all stirred up. Start lactate, baby girl.
Hey, man, that's really that's a sacrifice that you have to
But
make.
like, I love cereal, but like, yeah, like you eat a bowl of cereal, then the rest of the day you're just gassing all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to do that.
it's
all
not the
time.
milk that's doing it to me. It's the Cheerios.
That's 'cause
what?
Cheerios make me fart. dude.
Doesn't everything fuck you up because your digestive tract's
More
like
or less.
this big?
It's something like
It starts
that.
at his belly button and ends at his belly button.
This is a loop that goes like this in a circle. No wonder you're
It's
fucked
one
up.
guy on a hamster
It's like
wheel.
that.
Actually,
It's like that fucking snake that's eating its own tail. Like
Oh,
what's-
shit.
That's called something.
Snake
What
the
is it?
game on a Nokia phone. Come on, that shit was crazy.
Shout out fucking snake. That shit was fucking awesome.
They're trying to make these simple phones come back too.
They
Like,
should. I like it.
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
I'm addicted.
I would
Got
use
problems.
I'm fine, but I can't look at porn on it. So,
one.
but
I would use one during the workday, but at night I want my.
if I could play
I
like
want my
Marble
iPhone.
Madness on it, I'd be like, yo, fucking sign me up. They should-
Marble
That
Madness.
was my shit.
Oh my god.
What is that?
It was an
Nintendo
old,
game
yeah.
where you were literally a marble that rolled around on like
the
a.
surface, and the surface was constantly like shifting.
Oh, that's cool.
So you had to like slide your way down past and stuff. It was sick.
I'm used to playing with the actual board itself.
They should
but
fucking-
I want to be the marble.
They should
You-
bring
you could be
back
the marble.
Nextels. Then I'd be truly happy.
the yellow
Yeah.
one, the
Yeah.
contractor phone.
Yeah, so I could be with my mom and you could go, hey. That was always a good thing that
Well, we
happened.
used to do that shit. We used to do that shit on purpose. Like constantly, like, yo, where's so and so at? I'm like, oh, I think he's with his girl. It's
And you
like
chirp him.
It's like, yo, that bitch is looking for you again, or like, no, that girl's looking for you. Want to know where you're at? And it's like shit like that. Oh, I would never do that to Joanne though.
No, Joanne, man. Joanne would be
No.
like, well, who is that? Who is that? Who? Or it would be like Steve Graham. Yo, Tingle, where are you? Being gay? Yeah, dude.
Oh fuck.
Nextels, good
This is so
times.
great.
Nextels where you couldn't even. You had to manually type in the phone number to text someone every single time.
Yep.
You couldn't keep a contact in the Nextel phone.
That's annoying as
They
shit.
never had service as a phone, but the chirp thing always had service somehow.
Always had service.
Dude, I
But
heard.
to actually make a call was like, you're fucked.
And why was the chirp 3 times louder than any speakerphone?
To get your attention. It was important.
And for some reason, you couldn't like turn it so like instead of getting chirped, it would just buzz in your hand or anything like
No.
that. You couldn't like mute it at all. So no matter
Nope.
what, if you wanted to mute your phone, you just had to turn that thing off.
No ignore, no nothing.
That shit went off in my school
But you could drop
all
it
the
off.
time.
You could drop it off a ladder and it would just survive.
I used to turn it off and be like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I lost service, man. I don't know what happened.
You never did that.
Have you ever hung up on someone but pretended like it was disconnected? Like,
Oh yeah.
artificially?
yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Okay. Oh, man, I lost you. I don't know what happened.
I remember landlines. You used to you would just rub your finger over the like the mouthpiece, and it would just be
the
like
static.
It'd be like, you're like, oh man, I'm losing it.
I
You know,
think
The wind's blowing
when
again.
the first one like cordless, I was like, oh, it's fucked up. Man.
I think that only sounds believable in the receiver, not on the other end.
yeah.
Because I got called out for it. They're like, are you rubbing your
Ooh.
finger? I was like, no. That's to my dad.
Yeah.
I would never do that. I would never lie to you and get off the phone with you. No.
And I remember like when you find out that if somebody calls you and you're on the phone, it makes a different ringtone, different callback
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
It'll be like a ring and then like a slight click,
Yep.
letting you know that that person's on the phone. So someone like, oh, I called, you didn't pick up. I was like, oh, I must have been on the phone with so and so. Like, what? And you had that.
It didn't have that thing. I didn't hear it click.
My
Maybe-
phone never had call waiting, so people
Yeah.
would get busy.
This
so-
what?
What?
Yeah. Well, I'm also
had
75
it.
years old. Yeah, this is a different time.
Yeah, but you would definitely. How old are you now?
33.
Yeah, you. What? You didn't have call waiting. Wow.
We never had call waiting.
He's also bohemian. He probably didn't have phones in his house.
Nah, we did. It was
mom-
cool.
2 cans and a string.
His mom just summoned.
Now we just yell real loud.
Hey. Yeah.
I made a circle with a special oil and just enchanted a person to come talk to me.
That would be a sigil.
That would be fucking sick, though.
a sigil.
How sick would
Now
that
I know
be?
what that is.
If someone was like, "Yo, can I, like I'll hit you up?" I was like, "All right, yeah, here's my sigil, but it can only be done in like
What's it, like a phone number?
it's only like it can only be done." But you have to write the phone number in like a special sap
With, like,
from,
symbol-
from like from a sacred tree.
Shit.
If you use the wrong sap, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
It's like coconut sap. Nah, can't do that. It needs to be sap from an elven tree.
yeah. It's like I got some weird guy that sounded like an orc. Like, well, what kind of sap did you use, dude?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
that wasn't Douglas fir. Was
That wasn't from the Datura root, was it?
Is there? What's the difference between a witch and a Wiccan? Because someone's trying to tell me that there's a difference.
I don't know. I think there isn't.
I think most Wiccans are kind of more along the lines of pagans as well
Yeah,
as being a witch. Is like
the pagan Wiccan Venn diagram is like this. It's more of a circle.
like the pagans are like, well, like instead of worshiping a god of some sort, they worship the earth.
Okay.
So like
Trees.
anything that comes from the earth is holy in some way.
well,
I think. Don't quote me on that.
in
But instead of having a deity, it's just like, earth.
in the circles that I've been in, there are
2 tree circles.
yeah, there's different ones. There's the mother, there's the goddess, there's the goddess of the north, of like the sun,
The
and
hunt.
like and earth, and like there's a couple different elements at work here.
Fuck you.
But there's not just one. That's true.
That shit rips, dude.
What about the witches in the X-Files? When the
Damn, dude.
one witch came into the school.
Yeah.
What episode was that?
That was it's a German. It's like Deuce Vault or something like that. I think it
Yeah.
was.
Around, I think, season 4.
Really? Season 4 was kind of like the only season I don't remember many episodes on.
I honestly also have a problem. I can tell you if it could happen early or later in this, but I can't like break down
Pinpoint the exact point.
exact
Yeah.
in the year it came out, that episode. Some of the names I do remember, but
So your tism is only a little strong.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like even with like comic books and shit like that,
Just
it's
for
like
seasoning.
I can tell you anything you want to know about Spider-Man, but I can't tell you what exact issue and what exact year this happened, or whatever that. But if you're like, just random trivia, like, oh yeah, I got that.
I bet you could get there though.
Yeah, if you're like an idiot savant, maybe with it.
No, I'm just pure idiot.
No savant.
But the only ones I remember the titles of is the ones I had the VHS tapes of. Because it would have like 3 episodes on it and all the titles were on the back. And remember which ones I would watch over and over again. Like the one called Home is the one with the lady that had no arms, no legs, and
Got
lived,
stowed beneath
That's-
the bed.
and
that's on
lived
my
under the
list.
bed. Yeah.
We might as well get into the fucking X-Files topic.
Welcome
at
to
this
the
point.
Irrelevant Illiterate Podcast. I am Dennis. That is Tom. This is Jeremy Tingle. And Hunter Biden is free.
What?
Free.
He was pardoned today.
Pardon, dude. For 10 years.
I didn't hear
Like-
this.
Like
Yeah.
from 2014 till now.
And people are shocked.
Color me shocked. I didn't
Why?
know
His,
that.
his dad's on his way out of the presidency.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to
He
like
said he wasn't going to do it.
on his way out. He's like, fuck you. I'll be dead soon.
Said he wasn't going to do it. That just means Donald Trump's going to come in and be like, you're pardoned, you're pardoned, I'm
Yeah.
pardoned, you're
Yeah.
pardoned.
I think it's sick because now Delaware's MVP is not going to face any repercussions.
Yo, can he pardon himself?
Who,
I don't
Trump?
know. I was wondering that. Can he?
I
For-
don't
45?
know for sure. because I think if he could, but it would have to come down to someone else making the decision as well. Maybe the Supreme Court. I don't know. I'm an idiot, but I'm sure he'll figure out a way to get.
What's so supreme about it, man?
But
It's limited edition.
Anything he gets in trouble for, by the time he actually will face a consequence, he'll be dead. Because Trump is also old as fuck.
He's 78.
So, and they can delay trials of any kind for up to like decade. So by the time anything comes up, he'll probably be likely dead, and they'll be like, "Who fucking cares?"
Yeah,
now?
double guns.
Yeah, it'll be the next fucking evil person coming up. You know, that they focus on.
But it'd be funny if his last words were like, "Can't stop, won't stop."
It's on his tombstone.
Or like, "Suck it, John Law."
Or like,
it's gonna be fight. It's gonna be fight again.
It's gonna be I did it. That was me.
Or Stormy got a stank puss.
all that shit they was talking about me. Believe all that shit and leave me alone.
Believe
That shirt is so good.
Believe all of it and leave me alone.
How fucking great is it that politicians have merch now? That is so wild to me.
On the Patreon, we were just talking about that. On the drive down to Tennessee, I passed 3 Trump megastores.
Stores.
No shit.
Storefronts,
I
yeah.
would have popped in.
We thought about it just to see what's
What do
in
you gotta
there.
lose, you know?
Yeah. Don't break up a long drive.
Nothing separating us but time and opportunity.
You think Kalen could go work for the merch booth at the Trump rallies?
I mean,
He might.
honestly, I think I would for the stories.
Damn, I bet they would clean up.
Yeah.
Dude.
Fuck. Does Kalen look like he would roll with Trump? I don't know.
No, he's a long-haired hippie.
Oh, he's a long-haired hippie now?
Oh, he's-
Yeah,
long-haired
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Is he hippie though?
No.
I bet he dabbles.
I've seen him with a man bun though.
Hey, he's probably cleaning up.
So maybe he's just a samurai.
It's efficient. Dude, the samurai do is cool.
It is fucking
If I had
sick.
long hair, I would do
Dude.
it once.
I don't know what it is. How hot was it when like the semi-attractive teacher in school had the bun with the pencil through it?
Oh God, yeah. Fuck.
Wearing a pantsuit, you're just all bricked. You're like, fuck yeah, dude.
Where I always hear about these high school teachers sleeping with students. Where were they? Where were they when we were growing up?
They were 80.
There was only
And
Yeah.
and
Well, we had the student teachers, which is like these
Teachers' aides.
Yeah. The dudes were fucking. But yeah, it's wrong. But I mean, you think about it back
the
then.
dudes were fucking the students.
yes,
the girls.
But this
Okay.
is high school.
Yeah.
So the girls
same.
are like 17, 18. These guys, like, to be like one of those guys, you only had to be like 22. So they could just be a 4-year gap between them, you know, which it's still creepy, but it's not like they were like fucking 50 and the girl was 17.
Right.
But yeah,
yeah, that's a bit gross.
there was definitely student teachers, dudes that were fucking students in my high school.
There was one in my high school.
Yeah.
The guy pretty good looking gym teacher, Mr. Brody. He was like 30,
Mr. Brody.
and he was 36. He fucked a 20-year-old teacher aide.
That's not a student though.
He did fuck a 17-year-old student too.
Oh, that's different.
Swing and a miss.
That's different. I wasn't gonna let him walk on that. I'm like, hey, it's gross, but come on.
He
But,
was gross.
yeah.
Gross looking or gross actions or both? Was he also
Actions.
gross looking?
Nah, he was a good looking guy.
This made me sound awful, but when you see like
I'm ready for it.
the female teachers that
I
are
know.
fucking the male students, and some of the teachers, they're kind of, you're like, oh, she's mid as fuck. Like, what the hell? But then you got to
It's a
remember
story.
when you were like 13, 14, how fucking horny you were.
Yeah.
Even like a
I'm
semi,
40. I'm still horny.
even like a semi-ugly teacher, you were kind of like, yo, if she just wore something mildly low cut, I would have been bricked in class.
Yeah.
You know?
little stinger.
Yeah.
Just a little barb on the end of my hook. Yeah.
There's that dynamic too. Like, you're the student, he's the teacher.
Yeah, we're role playing now.
Or as my pop would say, around back then, man, the crack of dawn wasn't even safe around me. You know, like shit like that. Because you were fucking horny.
What a line.
Horny as fuck, dude.
What a line.
So I'm like, yeah, that lady's kind of gross for doing that. But it's like the kids, I'm like, they're probably like, she's ugly, but I might never see pussy ever again. So I'm going to do it.
This is my one shot.
I probably would have fucked an older, ugly teacher if it was offered to me, but it never was.
I was
Always a bridesmaid.
I was a really, really late bloomer. So I didn't even get horny till like after high school. Really,
With that fucking thing you're packing, really?
That
What
means
was
you're
going
probably a
on?
good student.
I didn't know I was an awful student.
What?
All I got into was mischief,
Oh, I got into
What
was
was your
Jay Owen.
mischief? What was your mischief
like
in high school?
cutting class, like fighting, like running around.
Fighting.
Breaking bottles behind.
Were you
Wawa.
were you a badass in high school?
No. I was bullied.
Oh,
Same.
I was bullied a good bit.
Same.
I went to Cab Calloway. There were no bullies. I was lucky.
Yeah, I think it was illegal there.
That place blew my mind. Being in Catholic school my whole life, and then going to Cab Calloway, I was like, "There's a guy kissing a guy in the hallway. This is crazy. What's going on here?"
Calloway had hot ass girls there too.
Yeah, there were dancers. They were singers.
We were always talking about that in school. It was like, yo, we got like, there's be cab girls at this party, and everybody's like,
Cab
oh
girls,
shit.
cab girls.
They would also stab you in the middle of the night. But yeah,
No,
man.
take to go with the bed.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna
Fuck.
do?
Right. At least I'll go out with empty nuts.
I seem to remember St. Mark's girls being a thing
Nah.
A thing like,
in my school.
There's girls there.
oh, like it was like, oh, St. Mark's girls are this, that.
I just know all the dudes that went to St. Mark's and they're all fucking blithering idiots. I was in a band with most of them.
Most of St. Mark's.
Yeah.
I went there for 1 year, and I got offered what I thought was a Listerine strip in the bathroom, and it was actually acid. I didn't take it, but I was like, "What's this guy gave? This guy named Dustin gave me a Listerine strip." I don't know.
Dustins always have drugs, dude.
Of course, it was a Dustin.
Classic Dustin.
Yeah, he's trying to get me dusted. I mean, he was like, like who hands someone just? You don't even know the guy. Here, try this. This isn't like an Adderall
That's how
pill.
I started
It's a
it.
slip of acid.
That's how I had it the first time.
It must have
I
been
was only
plentiful.
15.
That's the. If I was going to do anything, if I was ever going to do a drug, it would be like mushrooms or something like that.
Sure.
I wouldn't. You've done mushrooms, right? Plenty of times, right?
Only when I was really young and it almost killed me.
I was gonna say a long time ago, right?
I'm allergic to mushrooms, and that's how I found out. I never ate them because I thought they were yucky.
How awful is that?
This trip sucks.
I never
I'm
ate them.
dying.
I never ate them because I thought they were yucky. I was a picky eater as a kid, and then this is when I was in Stanton Middle School. Across the train tracks from Stanton Middle School was that trailer park place,
Yes.
and I used to go over to that. I used to cut out of school, go over there, and this kid Jason Jenkins, he lived there, and we used to watch his brother Ricky's. The night before he would tape 120 minutes in Headbangers Ball.
Of course
and we
it
would
was
cut
Ricky.
out and go watch the tapes, and then. So Jason always had drugs because his brother, he worked at Movies 10.
His brother was cool.
when it first opened.
Of course.
And he had a sweet limp.
Well, at movies
uh,
10, they just give you drugs.
But he was
They
so
don't pay you.
wait, I did tons of drugs in middle school and I don't remember ever paying for them. So one time he had mushrooms and I was like, oh, gross. And everybody's like, we're going to try. I'm like, all right, fine. So I just start eating a bunch of mushrooms and everybody else is fucking having a great time and my throat closed up.
What the fuck?
I went to they took me to the hospital and the doctors, like, they pumped my stomach and everything. They're like, you had a lot of mushrooms in there. I was like, yeah, we had a pizza party at school. They're like,
There's nothing else in the.
there's no crust and no cheese.
but here's the best part. They're like, it's 9:30 in the morning. And I was like,
Oh
yeah.
shit!
I was like, it was somebody's birthday.
Yeah, for breakfast.
And they're like, so you had a pizza party at school and that's where all these mushrooms came from. And I was like, yeah. They're like, all right.
But did you trip at all?
No. If I did, it was overwhelmed by the fact that my
You were
throat was
dying.
closing. And I was like,
Might
I was
take over.
hived up. And so my parents came pick me
Hived
up
up.
and shit like that.
Hived
and
up.
the doctor was just like, oh yeah, he had a pizza party for some kid's birthday at school. So he found out that's how he's allergic to mushrooms, by the way. And he didn't rat me out at all. On my way out, the guy
He knew. He knew.
Oh, he knew
Okay.
absolutely. Because
Okay.
also, those
I don't
mushrooms
know.
look way different from mushrooms you get on a pizza. A, because they're mostly whole, and have a stem still on them.
Oh, they're all like
On the way
they're all
out.
like spindly looking too. and
Yeah,
shit.
on my way out,
Dirty.
The guy's just like, careful with those mushrooms going forward, all right? I was like,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And I never tried them
Thank
again.
you.
I've always wanted to try them again because it's one of those allergies that you eventually will grow out of it in time.
Well, I mean, what if you had like a sliver of a mushroom? You haven't had a
probably be
mushroom
fine.
since?
Yes, I've had some on like pizza before, but just like, how sometimes there's a topping on your pizza that maybe some guy was just using the pizza cutter and had a mushroom on it, shit like that.
Yeah.
And all it did was just make me itchy. That's it.
You're good to go, man.
But I had eaten so many of them at this kid's house that like I'd eaten so many, and that's what made the real bad reaction.
Well, I mean, they can grind it up and put it in a tea too.
Yeah, but acid, I tried that because of shout out Alex Dunn over at Brooklyn Terrace, dude. He fucking just had sheets of acid at all times.
So wait, when were you doing this? Was this recently or?
No, I was probably like 13.
Doing fucking ass?
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me.
I smoked wet at 14. So like I went straight edge at 18, but by that time I had lived.
I only
I had lived.
same. I went
do
at
it on
19.
purpose. It was just like it was weed that was just laced with embalming fluid, and I ended up just smoking it.
Seen the devil.
Yeah, it was.
God.
It was actually Thanksgiving Day. I went over to my buddy's house. Then
Sure,
at night,
real
I had
thankful
dinner.
you were there.
Memories.
At night,
tripping up.
my depth perception was all fucked up from it. So like
That was it though, right?
People were handing. Actually, mostly yeah. That was pretty much. And I had a bad headache the next day. But people were like passing me shit, and I was like reach for it like off to the side, shit like that. Or
Oh my God.
I put my hand out like this, and they were like, just wasn't reaching far enough, shit like that. People were just like, "What the fuck?" She was like, "I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't feel good.
I'm just
That's
tired.
it."
What is the wildest trip that you've seen someone on?
Oh, the same kid,
Salvia.
Alex Dunn. He was coming back from work, and he always carried the acid he sold in sheets in his book bag.
When you're talking about sheets, they look like
No, it's like a sheet, and it looks like clear plastic.
I've never even. I was gonna say I've never even seen a shit.
And then
before.
that he would cut into the blotters, which is what you sold.
yeah, okay.
So imagine that on just like a
big ass sheet.
like a sheet of paper size.
Right.
And then he would just cut them down.
like the projector screen thing.
Yes, exactly. But
Oh.
he was carrying them back from work. He walked home, and it was pouring rain out, and I guess water plus acid plus
Skin.
all you had on was a t-shirt, so it went through his skin. He was in
Yikes.
He was in Rockford for I think a month.
That'll do it.
It took him like a week and a half to finally come down from it.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I have no idea where he's at now. He's probably a mayor, but that's the worst I've seen.
I've only seen one person. I've seen two people tripping. One was Jamie Chance. Oh my God.
The fucking man.
Who thought he was a cat for an hour?
He probably thought that when he was stone sober too.
I would have called him in my lap.
I put Jamie Chance in my lap.
You know how Eric McCurdy's house had all those like
The cat
things?
trees, yes.
He laid one of those things down in the middle of the room, and he was like laying like this, going fucking crazy.
That's hilarious.
That shit rules.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know how people do it.
But now as an adult, I'm like somewhat hesitant, somewhat afraid to try acid and mushrooms again.
Well, yeah, doesn't that shit stay in your spine, acid or something like that?
Yeah, and also an acid trip lasts a long time.
No.
It wasn't like 9 hours or some shit. 9 hours.
Like 8 to 10, 8 to 12 hours. So it's like, fuck, who's got that kind of time?
Yeah.
Like, I got to do other shit, you know?
Sorry, I didn't realize
yeah.
that this was a dude holding a cock
Yeah, he's got a beer in his...
or a beer in his cock, a beer cock.
I don't know where that came from, but it's awesome.
I think Matt gave it to me. It's from this dude, David the Robot, who does a lot of internet art. And that was on his store.
everything on this table came from somebody.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was... So I'm like, now it's like, I want to try acid again. I want to try mushrooms again. But it's like, but I got to be able to function still.
Yeah, but where
So
you
weed
can't.
edibles are fine. Because I can do that and actually work. I can function. But the other stuff is like, you got to make a day of it. And I just don't have that time anymore.
Weed edibles, like you can eat an edible,
Yeah.
go to work,
Uh-huh.
and perfectly function fine. No one even knows that you're high. Is it
No one knows. Well, he knows because I tell him.
right?
But
you have no out. Like it's
It's not
I
outwardly
also
visible.
don't really work with people. Like, I don't have customers or anything like that. So I don't have to worry about that. I'm just alone
you're
in
just
a room
working with this.
with
Yeah,
a wall.
yeah.
That's all I'm already doing. So it's easy.
Damn, Peyton.
But if
That's-
like, I'm sure it's different if you had like, if you did retail. It'd be a
everyone
lot different.
everyone thinks Peyton is as easy. It's fucking hard.
It's not.
It's hard.
It's
te-
hard.
it's tedious.
It's hard
It's
on
tedious.
you. Like, you're not moving as much, but
Mm-hmm.
you're standing and sitting and squatting in weird ass positions. It fucks your back up, your knees up, your ankles. But also the fact that I'm carrying 300 plus extra pounds of weight now. It's like,
Wasn't gonna say it, but
well, that's pretty much what it is. But even like the guy I work with, he's fucking trim as I'm Kevin.
Yeah.
He's trim as shit. And he still has back problems, leg problems and shit
just from going like this
up,
and
down, and you're standing in weird positions.
It's
and
hard
shit.
on you.
Or standing on a ladder so your fucking foot's like bent in half over a rung. It's just, yeah.
Well, you're doing manual labor. You got to be.
He's also in way better shape.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
I want to last a really long time. I don't want to be sore when I'm 45 yet.
Boring.
Yeah, this guy hugs me outside. I felt my rib crack. I was like, "What the fuck's going on? What are you doing? Are you coming to the
Go
gym?"
lower and crack my back for me.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 150 on a Cairo visit.
Yeah. No.
It is about that, actually. No, well, all we do is like we put together the skeleton of a building.
That's spooky.
Huh? Wait, what? Got it.
Like the frame. He means like the frame.
Yeah,
of
the
building.
inside, the bones,
Like the rafters.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I didn't.
columns, beams, joists,
Yeah.
girders.
Are you
trusses.
union?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Getting paid.
Yeah, when I work, that is.
Oh, you get. Oh, wait. This is the season where you're laid off, right?
Yeah, mostly, and the apprenticeship is like they're slow to put apprentices to work because for like
You don't know as much.
we don't know as much, so automatically people in charge are like, I don't want another apprentice to be. I don't want to have to tell somebody what to do all the
Yeah.
time. But when I actually am put somewhere, I can be told something at the beginning of the day and then just be left to my own devices and actually work.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike all the other guys who are probably on their fucking phone or like following somebody around asking questions all the time.
And those
But-
are people that may have been there for like a long time too, right? It's all about seniority, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still at the co-op. I don't know what the fuck goes on in the rest of the world.
Unions, it's rarely about skill. It's more about tenure. How long
Yeah.
you been in a place.
So I just need to stick around long enough to have a reputation. Be like,
Yeah.
he'll go to work. We'll bring him.
Right. But don't the other people get? Oh, they get mad. Oh man, they're always taking that guy. He's outworking us. We got to take him out.
Not really.
Gary.
I never really had that problem with the meat cutters.
Not really.
either.
To be honest, the only bummy guys who don't get put to work are fucking bums anyway.
Yeah, and everyone knows they're a bum.
And the thing is, if they've been there longer than you, no matter how much harder you work than them, they probably still make more money than you.
No. The thing about our local is once you're a journeyman, you make the same amount always.
Across the board.
Across the board.
Is it? But depending on the job, right? No.
Yes, depending on the job is true. Depending on the company paying you, like a company could be like, it's totally up to the company what they want to pay us, but our rate is usually what they go off of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rare, but they could be like, we'll pay you $55 an hour for this job, or somewhere in like if you go to
Sign me up.
North Jersey or New York, you can make something like $74 an hour.
Yeah, because they're robbing people up there. My God.
We had a bunch of old dudes that worked with me at ShopRite, older dudes, and on Sundays they were pulling in about 80 an hour.
Well, on Sundays we get double time.
And they're like 80, 90 years old. And the thing is with meat cutting, it's different from what he does. You can be old as fuck and still do the job.
Yeah, if you can work a slicer.
Yeah, or just hold a knife in your hand, you're fine. They don't have to do. They would just get us younger guys to lift all the heavy boxes of meat for them.
Right.
Let's have this conversation because I don't know. I've always heard that unions are the shit, and I've heard unions are terrible. So now I'm sitting here with two union men.
I think it depends on the trade.
True.
Okay, so does it work out in your favor for your trade?
In my trade, absolutely it does, because we're a lot safer than like the difference is like if like say you want to build a building,
right?
They hire the general contractor, and the general contractor can go union or non-union. If they go union, they have to hire guys who are essentially experts in their trade, carpenters, iron workers, which is what I do, electricians, pipe fitters. Or if they go non-union, they just hire guys.
Yeah.
Who are like guys who can like, I know how to do this, I know how to do that.
And you got to take their word for it.
And you got to take their word for it.
Yeah.
And like they might be cheaper, but like
you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So-
you don't really.
Couple fires.
You could get like one good guy out of say you hire 5 people, you get one guy who's actually good at what he does and 4 bums.
Right.
But would you experience that like for the meat cutters union too?
No, it was completely. I hated it because you also got assigned, like you got hours depending on what your seniority was, and even though I was in,
God.
I was
I would hate it too.
I was lowest man on the totem pole, and I always had to work. The earliest shift that I could get was noon to 8 o'clock at night. Because if you're in seniority, everybody would go for the 5 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Or the 1 p.m. or the 6 to 2.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get it because it was the older guys got first crack. Like I said, these guys don't have to retire. So there's 80-year-olds taking all those shifts for you. And Sunday, which you would fight to get because you got either time and a half when you started, or as you got older, you would get like double time and a half.
Double time and a half.
So
is
that was
crazy.
That was one day.
Wait.
That was
whoa,
one
hold on.
day.
Double time and a half?
Because like here's
I
the thing.
didn't process that right away.
If you were
Holy
these
shit.
older guys, they were under different union contracts.
Like grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in.
Oh my God.
You're under current because you're the new guy.
Right.
So you weren't getting what they were getting. But after you finished an apprenticeship, you got double time on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And,
I would fucking hate them too.
But
double time.
I would make on Sunday. I would make more than what I made the rest of the week combined
In one 8-hour shift.
one day.
God.
But yeah, so you're sitting there watching these old guys who, granted, they're good at what they did, but they went slow as fuck. They didn't get as much done as you. And they're not just making an extra $1, an extra $5 more than you. They're making like $10, $20 more than you are. And you're just like, and it's actually, they're so slow that you got to do more to make sure the meat department runs smooth that day.
But they're milking the clock too, right?
Oh, yeah,
It's not because they're old. It's because they're trying to work it, right?
Yes.
It's both.
Some of them it's a
both.
combination of both, but a lot of people are just fucking, why work harder because I'm still going to get paid.
In
Who
the
gives a
trades,
fuck?
we call that stretching.
Oh yeah. So for me,
Stretch the day out.
There you go.
I'm anti-union because it's not
Because
based
of your
on merit
experience.
and it's not based on skill. It's based on
Seniority.
that's it.
And everyone's paying the same dues, right?
Yes.
It's like the new guy and the guy who's been there for 20 years is paying the same amount.
Yep, $30 a month.
That's not bad. I mean, if you're getting I don't know. You have a good experience, you have a terrible experience.
Ours was like
So far.
was like 40 a month, but it was a little bit out of each check.
I wish
taking
it
out for
took it out
dues.
of our checks. We have to do it manually.
We didn't have to do that.
You have to do the union doesn't. Oh wait, are you technically a contracted employee, or how's that work?
Well, technically, what are like a lot of skilled labor unions are like essentially a
Getting in,
staffing
but-
agency.
Oh, okay.
So a job needs X amount of guys. They'll source us from the hall, and depending on
Number one.
who's worked last, you'll be like in line to be put to work next. So, like if you just got laid off and you go to the hall the next day, or you sign the sheet or whatever, you might not get put back to work right away. But somebody who's been waiting for 2 weeks, 3 weeks will be in
Gets
the front,
first crack.
They'll be in the front of the line.
Yeah.
Another thing that he has to do that I never had to do was he has to go to classes.
Well, that's part of the apprenticeship.
I never had to go to a class.
You just learned in the shop, right?
Yeah, you worked. You still like the first 2 years that I was in the meat department, I was just a meat wrapper. You just ran it through a machine that wrapped it.
Okay, so you're not even cutting it.
Nope.
You're just wrapping.
And then as soon as you were done doing the meat wrapper's job, you went and stood at the block or sat at the block with the guys cutting and watched what they did, learned what they did, and basically, like, say they're cutting a bunch of pork chops. You would take all the pork chops, arrange it on we called it the pads and the diapers and all that shit. You put it on that, pack it, and wrap it. So you watch all that, learn how that shit. I didn't have to go to any union hall or anything like that.
No meetings.
No meetings, none of that shit. Anything sort of meeting, either the shop steward told you in the morning or you got a letter in with your paycheck. But also, I technically worked for, it was Kenny Family ShopRite.
Right.
So I was part of the union, but I technically worked for ShopRite.
You were a company man.
Basically, yeah.
Is what that means.
Yeah.
And same thing. If you're not going out of the hall like I just described, if you're good enough, you'll get hired by a company, and then whatever job that company does, they just put you there.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you just bounce around wherever they need you and get a steady 40-hour paycheck.
It was funny when I was out of ShopRite and went to go work for BJ's Wholesale. I was making way more money. I had my pick of any hours I wanted, any shift I wanted, and you pretty much got merit raises constantly.
Oh, you mean when you went private
yeah, it was great.
as opposed to
So
union.
of course
Yeah.
I'm anti-union. I got the chance to flourish with that company where I was just fucking floundering for ShopRite.
Yeah, you were just picking up the pieces there, but at BJ's you were like cutting the meat. You were the guy.
I was the guy. I mean, it's also a smaller operation.
And where are they now? Still in business.
They're both still there.
They're both still there. They're both doing quite well.
Hey, ShopRite is still dirty as shit.
Yeah. Not my department, though.
Nah.
Yeah, it was fucking ripped. So I heard you have X-Files stuff for us?
Yes. We have a topic today.
Did you ever give me back my seasons of X-Files that you had on DVD?
Yeah.
Did you?
I don't remember.
Me neither. So
I feel like I did, but I feel like I gave some back to you, not all, maybe.
Should we talk about our favorite episodes first or trivia first? You probably know some of the. Both of you probably.
This
know
isn't
some
no
of the
that
stuff.
AI shit.
No, this is real.
He did an AI Simpsons quiz. We had a Simpsons.
Was it impossible?
It
was just wrong.
It was wrong.
Oh, really?
Because
Yeah.
AI is dumber than we think.
Like, who's Ralph's
Shit.
mom? Is like Mrs. Krabappel. You're like, no. Her name's Sarah Wiggum. What the fuck is like?
Yeah.
And all three, it was me, Mike Murrow, and Evan Zook, and all three of us were just like, no, that's not right. It happened constantly.
If there's anybody
Yeah.
to check us or check
Yeah.
it, it's them. It's
Those
them.
two
yeah,
are way
them
better.
three.
Those two are way better than I am at Simpsons shit.
They're experts.
They can name the episodes, what year, and all that shit. And
Before we start this, I'm going to make an admission about the X-Files. I never watched the Doggett episodes. I never did it. I never did it.
Why?
I don't know, because when you get to that point,
Is that
First-
later seasons?
yeah, it's
8,
later.
9, 10.
Yeah, because
Or
also
no, 8, 9.
and also
I never got there either.
the series starts to kind of fall off when
yeah.
Mulder's like in the hospital bed for episodes at a time going
Yeah.
cuckoo. I mean, it's just
And also, like, towards the end of, like, their 10 years, Scully was barely in shit.
yeah.
I
But
always,
she was pregnant during that time, so.
I always fall off around season 7 anyway.
But I stuck with it. And look, it's not as good as Mulder Scully. All right, it's not.
I mean,
But it's fucking good. Doggett was a great character. It was like flipped. And this one, like, Reyes was the believer and Doggett was the skeptic. So instead of Mulder being, it was just flipped around. But they're good characters.
And it's like 1.5 seasons, right? It's not even like
Just
two.
two.
It's 2 full seasons.
I think 9 might be shorter than the other seasons. But it still had the Lone Gunmen were still in it. Skinner was still in there. Still had like the Cancer Man was still there.
Krychek, was he around?
Yes, I fucking hate Alex Krycek so goddamn much.
He's so angry too.
I hate
him.
I hate his
To
face.
the point, if I see that guy in anything now, I'm just like mad about it. Like Krycek.
That's the first piece of trivia I found was that in real life, Duchovny is the skeptic and Jillian is an alien believer.
It's because she's an angel.
What?
It's because she's an angel on Earth,
How weird is that?
and he's a sex addict.
Yeah, he plays. You know, it's funny. He plays a sex addict in
other
different
show.
roles, like in Sex in the City,
And he had a show where he was basically one too.
Californication,
Yes,
which is
yes.
fucking hilarious.
Tits all over that fucking show.
Oh my god,
that show
is-
really came and went, didn't it?
Californication.
Yeah.
No, I think it had a good couple seasons.
I mean, I think it ran its course. I think they ran all the way to the end of the story.
It actually ended it. Yeah.
but man,
But no one ever talks about it anymore. It's like gone.
I watched it through once, and it was very fucking funny.
Huh.
It was funny. It was also really depressing and sad at times because he's a sex addict in that too.
Yeah.
But
I watched like the
Keeps
first
it
season
honest.
intermittently just because, I would watch it and then someone else would come in the room and I'm not trying to watch shit with tits in it and fucking if my mom comes in the room.
I mean,
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
weird.
you're mature adults,
Right.
That's fine.
I wasn't at the time. I was an adult, but barely when that show came on. But what's your little trivia there, guy?
another one is that how short Gillian Anderson is.
Oh,
How
what
short
the
is she?
fuck?
She's like 5'1" or some shit.
Really?
That's fine.
She's either 5'1" or 5'2".
Isn't your girlfriend like 4'3"?
She's 5'1".
Yeah, so
She's
who cares?
three apples tall.
Aw,
They
it's a big ass apple.
Yeah. What is that phrase?
Yeah.
it is. I don't know.
3 apples tall.
I heard-
Is that a real thing?
It's how tall Hello Kitty is
Aw.
according to the lore. But she's so short that they built a little box for her to stand on when they're filming, so that her and Duchovny aren't like
Yo,
so far off.
He's a drink. That boy's a drink of water. Duchovny.
I'm already learning
hot.
so much.
I think he's like
I'm
6'2"
so
or so.
shocked.
They build an 8-inch by 20-inch by 12-inch box for her to stand on.
There was a movie that he was in where he played a hand model, and I don't remember what it was.
What was that?
Oh, the
Heater
timer
turn.
went off. The heater's
Is
done.
that the alien?
Nah, the heater's done. We're good.
But like, I remember that dude Orlando. What's his name was in it? Orlando Jones was in
Bloom?
it. Oh, Evolution. I think it's called. But he played a hand model, and he had like a glass case built around his hand because he did like when people would like model
Right,
watches.
right,
He was
right,
like that kind
right.
of model, and he was like fucked up looking. Other than that, but it was funny as shit.
Why do I? Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Seinfeld. Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
No.
No. Did you?
I did. No, I did. I did by accident because there used to be 6 o'clock Simpsons, 6:30 Seinfeld, 7 o'clock Simpsons, and sometimes you would just leave it on in the middle instead of just turning it off, leaving the room for 30 minutes and coming back.
I think Seinfeld's really funny.
There's an episode where George is a hand model. That's why I was getting confused. I was like, what is going on? I was like, is this a thing?
I
But
guarantee you, fucking Duchovny probably showed up in a Seinfeld episode before too.
I don't know.
I think everybody's done Seinfeld episodes somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge show. So
You're a
they
huge show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
There's also a piece of trivia that Gillian Anderson is a potty mouth.
I did hear that.
She curses a lot. If you watch the bloopers,
Yeah, she's fucking it up.
and
Yeah.
she has an infectious laugh. So if
Could she get any more perfect?
No,
I
right?
know, right?
God.
If she flubbed a line or something, she'd have the whole crew laughing. According to
Because of her reaction to
Or just like gratuitous, like cunt pussy fuck. You're like, Jesus Christ.
whoa.
That's so funny. I mean, even if she laughed at something stupid, I would laugh with her.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a fucking angel.
I'd hope I'd get her. Yeah.
And I haven't seen her on shit since.
No, she like pops up in like random like ads, like fashion ads. I think
Yeah. I think she married somebody rich. And
Oh,
just
she's
was like-
married?
and was just like, I'm out.
man.
Just like, I'm out. I don't want to do this no more.
She looks better now.
She's so hot.
Yeah, David Duchovny looks like he's plaster falling off a wall. My God,
He
Poor
really
guy.
is in a state.
Still a king.
Did you ever listen to his music?
No, I don't think I should.
I don't. You ever what's the guy from Screaming Trees?
Lanigan.
Mark Lanigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like that music. It's like
Word?
it's really he's got like a deep voice. He's like singing like that. This was 10 years ago.
Like same style?
I might have just been obsessed with the X-Files and I was finding any reason to praise it.
That's probably why I don't want to listen to it, because I don't want it to sully or scully the image I have of him, you know, my head. You know what I mean? You know? Sorry. What do you got out there?
No, it was good.
What do you got there, Francesca?
Mitch, the guy who plays Skinner, is married to
Pelleggi.
Gillian Anderson's stunt double.
Nice.
What? What a tangled web we weave.
He also played what the fuck horror movie was he played? Was it Dr. Giggles? Or Shocker? It was Shocker. That movie Shocker, where like he's a death row inmate and he gets electrocuted in the electric chair, but then he's like comes back to life and he can like electrocute people.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
exactly like the Spider-Man villain.
Basically. Except for that guy was a line worker and just got electrocuted while using a power.
A lineman.
Yes.
Lineman.
He's a union boy.
Union. No, I was just going to say union.
Shout out to Max Dillon,
That's
aka
it.
Electro.
Nice. I'm not sure if this also counts as trivia, but Duchovny's stunt double plays the guy in Hunger that Rob mistakes for Mulder.
Wait, what? Hold on. Say it again. I'm fucking what?
Which one's Hunger? Is that the cannibal one?
No, I think it's the it might be the Is it the vampire one?
I don't know.
There's a couple vampire ones. There's the one where it's like the pizza delivery boy
Yeah.
is like drugging the pizzas so that
Yeah.
people fall unconscious.
And then he would come in afterwards and yeah.
I don't know it. Wait, so
And then there was the other one where it's like it never says they're vampires, but it kind of alludes to
yes.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Duchovny's actual stunt double plays that guy.
Okay.
I'd have to see the
Okay. I can't think of who it is though.
I want to see who what fucking Skinner was playing on that the Gillian Anderson stunt double. I love when you see people stunt doubles and looks nothing like them
Yeah.
at all.
They just have the
so
same
good.
haircut,
It's fucking rips,
but it's a
dude.
shade off the hair.
I don't care.
That shit
there-
rips.
There's an episode called Paper Hearts.
Yes,
Season
one of my
4.
favorite ones.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes.
Was it Donnie Faster?
No, that was Matt. It was the Mad Hatter. It was the guy who he was killing the little girls and taking heart pieces from their clothing.
That was a
Their
good ass
nightgowns,
episode.
I think that guy came back once or twice.
No, because he dies in that episode.
I thought that was more like the guy like they didn't catch him the first time, and then the next episode he came around, they almost got him, and then the third episode they finally got the guy.
No.
Am I thinking of somebody else?
You might be thinking of another. I almost just said Pusher.
Well, there's
but it's
Pusher or
something.
Tombs. Well, there's Pusher, there's Tombs. I'm trying to think of people.
It might be Pusher because Toombs. I remember he like fell in like a fucking wood chipper or some shit like that. He got really fucked up at the end.
You might
No,
be
it
thinking
was
of
it was
Pusher.
it was the staircase.
Yeah,
He got like chewed up in the stair, or what is
Like
that
the
called? Escalator. Thank you.
Yeah. He got pulled up.
What
in
a
the
way
gears.
to go.
He got fucked up.
Yeah.
He was eating people's livers. I think it was livers or kidneys to get the power to do the stretchy thing.
That's a healthy guy right there.
We were talking about it. when
Organ meat.
I think we brought it up on one of our episodes before that guy who played
Tombs.
Toombs. He's like at the time he was like 41 and his girlfriend was like 17.
Whoa,
He's a fucking piece of shit.
eating liver.
Well, there's that scene in Paper Hearts where Mulder throws the basketball.
Yeah.
Yes,
That was a real shot, and it was
Yeah.
first take.
I know he balls.
Really?
I know he does ball. He did one of those MTV used to have those rock and jock games, and it would be like actual just regular people playing basketball, but also would have like celebrities, mostly musicians, come in and also play the game.
Right.
And Mulder was the company was on one of them, was actually just nailing shots.
Of course he was.
Yeah,
He was fucking killing it.
It was like
White boy shit.
It was
like
half
3-pointers.
half court or farther.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he nailed it first try.
And the serial killer's just like, I'm still not going to tell you.
I recently the person who wrote this one said, I recently discovered that Robert Patrick, who played Doggett, is
Yeah.
the brother of the
The guy
singer
from Filter.
Filter,
Yeah, Richard Patrick.
who recorded 2 songs for the X-Files soundtracks show and the movie.
Yep.
The soundtracks were released years before Doggett joined the show.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know that.
And also, Gillian Anderson, I didn't know this, was considered to be Clarice Starling.
Yep.
And that's Clarice
terrible.
is kind of
Joey
what
Foster and
Yep.
Hansel Anderson.
Yep.
Foster is kind of what Scully's character was kind of based on.
I know that
FBI.
Oh, really?
the dude Robert Patrick also had some involvement. I think it was Chicago where he's from, and like the early Chicago punk scene, like the noisier stuff,
Interesting.
Small world.
like the Steve Albini bands and stuff like that.
Man. R.I.P.
Yep.
I know, right?
R.I.P.
That was some of the worst news of last year that didn't
Yep.
get talked about very much. And
It was talked about in the Nirvana world, okay?
that's fair.
Talked about. I
On
heard a lot.
On
LiveNirvana.com.
livenirvana.com.
Yes. Are you there?
I've dabbled.
I know he's a huge fan. It's
been a while.
of the Nirvana.
Nirvana.
He did some stuff for Helmet too. That's why I'm. Also, I love Steve Albini's bands too.
Yeah.
like Shellac Rules,
Yep.
Big Black Rules,
I never listened to Big Black. Shellac is awesome, though.
Rape Man.
Rape Man, God.
Talk about a Google
Yeah.
search.
Big Black. I bought the tape from Wonderland that was in Pike Creek because I was just buying anything with a cool name when I was a young kid.
Where was there a Wonderland in Pike Creek?
Pike Creek Shopping Center.
Where the Kmart was?
It
That
was-
one?
That's the shopping
It was,
center.
yeah, but it was across.
Oh, where all
yeah,
the
yeah.
restaurants are.
Where the
It got replaced by, I think, by TCBY yogurt. But
Still there.
I got the Big Black record because it was called Songs About Fucking. And I like some anime girl with her
I
O
wanna
face on the
know.
front of it.
Sounds-
It did rip, but
Sounds chill.
I had to sneak that shit into my house.
Alpini. Fuck.
Yeah, Albini rips, dude.
The last funny piece of trivia I found was that they never got clearance for the "I Want to Believe" poster
Really?
that was in Fox's office forever and ever. The famous poster, which decorated Mulder's office, was created just for the series, but it seems the photograph never got the proper clearances. The oversight wasn't discovered until 10 years after the show was on, and they sued Fox and won.
Whoa. They got fucking paid.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's like icon. That is an icon.
It's associated with the show now.
Yeah.
I had a shirt briefly. It didn't fit right, so I just stopped wearing it. But it was that same design, and it just said, "I want to go home" on it.
That's really
I was
cool.
Like,
Fuck yeah. Me too.
it was in my shut-in phase too, so I was like, "Yeah, this fucking fits."
I get
well.
it.
I got to do that.
I want to talk about our favorite episodes now.
I
Who's
don't
up?
know the titles, but the one with the Jersey Devil,
Jersey Devil.
when it was basically just was that what it
Yes.
was called?
Yeah.
It was basically just a feral person living in the Pine Barrens.
You remember what season at least?
That was the first one.
Okay.
I think it
the
was the
first
first one.
season was fucking
Was it
awesome.
first? I thought
It's
it
either
was way
first or
later.
second. No, it's
Oh.
either first or second.
The Donnie Peter Oswald. I think it's just the
DPO.
episode's called DPO.
DPO. That's a great one.
At that one, he gets struck by lightning, and then can just shoot lightning. And he was fucking infatuated with I think it's like his principal's wife.
No, it was a mechanic's wife, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because he worked for the mechanic.
Yeah.
And he was obsessed with her wife. He's like, Mrs. Kavit, I love you, Mrs. Kavit. And it was Giovanni Ribisi played him. That was one of my favorite episodes.
That's a great episode.
Home, obviously, fucking fantastic. With the inbred family and the lady with her arms and legs living under the bed.
I still have a hard time watching that scene where the sheriff's getting the fucking shit beat out of him and his wife's hanging out under the bed like, oh shit, I hope they don't find me. Oh my God.
Dude,
it's hard.
That's a good ass episode.
It's not a really crazy one, but I just always liked it. Was the one where I think they're on a cruise ship and it goes through like some weird, somewhat Bermuda Triangle-esque thing.
Yes.
I remember that one.
And it's just Mulder and Scully, like
in olden times.
Yeah, with it's like the Nazis come on the ship.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I like that one because just Gillian Anderson looks so fucking good in that fucking episode.
Yeah, she's got like the bob, like pin up hair type of thing.
Dude,
yeah.
I was beaten to that fucking episode so many fucking times, dude.
You took your suspect in for questioning for that episode.
There's an episode. I was roughing up the suspect till he coughed up his evidence.
Roughing up the suspect.
There's
never heard that, and I'm using it.
Yes.
Holy shit.
And there was another episode. I don't remember what it's called, but there was an Irish guy who could start fires.
Yep.
And
fire.
And the great fucking
It might have been
thing,
fire.
Season
he's
1,
at
episode
this
12.
bar,
That's all my
right?
favorites.
And this lady, he asked this lady at the bar, he's like, "You want a light?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he just does like his fingertip on fire and lights it. And she's like, "Oh,
so smooth."
And then she looks back and his hand's on fire. And she's like, "Oh!" And then he just goes, "Bat!" and like touches down the bar, and the bar just goes up, and he's just like cackling. I'm like, "Yo, this."
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Sick.
And there's actually one from the Doggett Reyes era. I don't remember what it's called, but there was this rich guy lived on this huge property that had like hedge mazes and shit, almost like straight out of Shining. But he would just at night would randomly turn into like this lizard person. And this dog got caught in his little maze and was running away from this dude.
That sounds cool.
That is cool.
It was
makes me want to watch
it was
those
like a straight up creature feature type episode.
Right.
But it's just really fucking good. But my absolute favorite, I don't remember what it's called, but it was the one with the Negro League baseball. And the one guy who was like the all-star player for the
he's an alien.
The Roswell Grays was the name of the team.
Yes.
And I actually think it's a real team too, or it became a real
must be
team
minor
after.
league or something.
No, it was like Negro League, which was a thing back in the way back. It was like, just all the black players because you couldn't play in Major League Baseball at the time. But it was the guy from Law and Order, Jesse something. Martin, I think. But he played this guy who was like this all-star for this team, and he wouldn't go out and party with him afterwards. He wouldn't go out with afterwards, and no one really knew why. And it comes to find out the whole time he's just a gray alien that can shapeshift. It's such a great episode.
No wonder he could hit the ball.
Yeah,
this guy's shape shifting.
But
come on.
They just find out that like you come to find out that he landed on Earth. He crash landed on Earth. It's just the actual Roswell wreck. But the one thing, he stayed out of everybody's way. But the thing is, he found out about baseball, fell in love with baseball. So he like broke cover, like, went out of hiding to go turn into this guy and become a baseball player.
Hell yeah.
And like he did Negro League because they were never in like a limelight. They were never like televised on TV or radio and
but
shit
they still
like
got
that.
to play.
But he still got to play on a regular basis. So that's why he joined up with those guys.
Those later seasons do.
And I think at the end, like somebody finds out that he is an alien. They go try to fuck him up, but his team still comes up, like defends him and shit like that. Yeah.
Nice.
It's just a great episode.
I got honorable mentions and I got my favorites on a little list.
Go up.
My honorable first one is Squeeze.
Yeah.
Season 1, episode 3.
Yep.
That's when dude can just.
It's the
That's
first.
Toombs.
It's the first episode with Toombs.
Oh, okay.
When he gets out
I
of
don't
the jail
remember the names
cell.
of his episodes. Yeah.
Nisi, where they ended up in Allentown with that shitty little house that had the video of the alien autopsy.
Yes. Yeah.
But
yeah.
what happens?
Well, it's been a while, but I just remember that was it.
Nice. Wait, what is it? How's it spelled?
Nisei. It might be Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Say.
Nicaea.
Yeah.
Or some
yeah.
shit.
That's it's an Indian reservation, isn't it?
That's Anasazi.
Yeah.
And that's on my favorite.
That's a good one.
That is
Oh my god.
Tunguska is a good one.
The Russian one.
Eve, with the two little girls with the red dresses. Remember they stop at the rest stop and they get sodas and shit.
Yep. Are they? Wait. Are they the? I might be messing up. There's
There's
twins,
many of
right?
them. Yeah,
There's like one where there's older twins.
Yeah.
And they're like kind of like.
they're from all over the country, but they have identical DNA. It's that weird eugenics thing.
Yeah.
It was like a dude that was like doing Nazi experiments of like eugenics and shit like that.
Drive is another one I liked a lot with
That's
Bryan
a
Cranston.
great one. I didn't even think about that one. That's a great episode.
When they're in the car and he makes them keep driving faster and faster
Oh, okay, yeah.
because he had to get back to the trailer or something by a certain time
Yeah.
or something like that.
No, you had to keep heading. He had to keep heading
Away-
west.
Away from the signal or some shit.
Yeah, because they had been doing government experiments with sound weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On people that were like living in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole series when they were finding Mulder's sister
Oh,
Oh yeah.
and
Sam.
they were driving back up to Mulder's house. Where is it? Like Martha's Vineyard,
Martha's
or some,
Vineyard.
or some shit.
Yeah.
I like that whole series. The Host is my favorite.
That's a great one.
The first episode of the
Yep.
Purity Control series
Yep.
with the Fluke Man.
Oh, okay. That guy was so. When he first pops up, I'm
So
sorry.
scary looking,
No, but it makes me laugh. He's like,
yeah.
like, yeah, it's gross and like scary, but I'm like, it's still also kind of funny.
It's great.
Just that one part when he first pops up, you're like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, he fucking
It ripped, though.
sucking people up.
Yeah,
Yes.
Putting his little
Actually.
succubant things on.
What is nutsack skin?
Oh, but yeah, he was definitely
All pale and
He was
shit.
a little shriveled raisin.
He had some scrotal ass skin. Dude.
He's hanging out in a septic tank. What do you expect? Give the
That's
guy a
true,
break.
too.
He's been there too
a
long.
little pruny.
We just talked about Detour a couple episodes ago when they're in the woods.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
a great one
yeah,
too.
yeah,
The two surveyors get killed, and then
Yep.
the father gets killed too by the invisible people in the trees.
And the boy and the dog get home, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great
And he had to
episode,
tell
too.
his mom because they were on their way to a conference in Washington, and they
Yeah.
literally got stopped by the roadblock.
A team building conference, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was it. And Mulder was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great." It was so fucking sarcastic and funny. Anasazi was on there, Fire was on there, and The Walk.
Which one's the walk?
It's the quadruple amputee gets the power of astral
So
projection
good. God,
Oh,
that's so
yeah.
good too.
and makes
He's like
people kill themselves.
He's an army vet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made people kill themselves.
Yeah.
Come on, killer.
And they
Come
kept-
on.
And he kept seeing his shadow on like this on the footage because he would show up on like closed circuit TV. You wouldn't see a person, but you would see like his reflection, like a shadow.
Like an apparition.
You would just see a shadow
Yeah.
across the floor.
Yep.
But they did show like the fucking projection later on in the episode.
Calm down, will you?
And rewatching, like it's the worst effects ever. It's
It was
fucking
effective,
great,
though.
It rips, dude.
When I watch the X-Files, I go into like a place like it's
yeah.
like it's total 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
It just feels good to be like watching that shit. God, I still run through it. It's still the thing I fall asleep to sometimes. I just put on an episode and
I keep
Knock out.
trying to watch the whole series all the way through, but the things that keep bugging me is the black oil episodes, just because they never fully wrapped up that storyline.
yeah. It's like because what was his? What was
Krychek was always in it.
the other agent? Spencer, right? It was Spencer's mother gets also. It's like this. That whole timeline is like Spencer.
Yeah,
His mother is like an abductee, and
yeah,
she gets abducted, and she's also had something to do with black oil. And
yeah.
I get hazy because there's other episodes where
And
it's
then
like
Cancer Man's in them, all of them. Too.
Cancer's
Yeah.
Man, and then these people with their eyes and mouths sewed
Yeah.
shut.
Yeah, so the little oil can't get into because that's how the oil gets into either mouth or eyes.
Those episodes always
Yeah.
creep me the fuck out.
But
They're great.
it never got
They
wrapped
are
up.
good though.
So like I don't want to get invested if I can't fucking have any kind of closure at the end of the series. But that and I fucking hate Alex Krychek.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude.
Yeah, he's
First
all over this
episode I
episode.
saw was the one where they found the black oil in was it Antarctica or just the North Pole?
No, it was the one. The first time they found it, I
It's
think
in the ice.
It's no. It's in the water.
Is that when they crashed the ship?
I think it's called Ice. The name of the episode is Ice.
No. Ice is in the first episode. That's the one where it's the surveyor team all kill each other because of that host, that little worm that gets into them,
Yeah.
drives them crazy. The first time they find a black oil, I think, or the black oil comes into play, is when they're trying to dive down. It's like a It's like a Russian dive team is trying to find this warplane that crashed however long ago. They go down into the depths, they find the warplane, and then the dude who's down there gets the oil. I don't remember exactly how it happens.
Did they bring him up and he's like somehow alive still?
He's alive, and you just see the little black oil swimming in his. They're like, "Are you okay? We like lost you for a second there." He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then as it cuts before the credits, it's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Let's hear the list.
.com, which is it's the episode where the ship. It's kind of like the episode that you're talking about, but the ship is like caught in a wrinkle of time where everything is accelerated. Like the aging is accelerated.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, yes.
That episode is fucking scary to me. You know, it's like opens up with all these like, I guess they would be Navy or whatever.
Yeah.
They're on the ocean. They get off the boat. And because they're like, well, everyone's fucking dying. Everyone's getting older. They get off the boat. And then the next scene cuts to them being found by another boat. And they're like 90 years old.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so scary. And then
Because I remember they get on the one boat and like the one dude's still at the helm. And they're like, you all right? And they pour him and he's like pretty much dried up.
Yeah.
I remember seeing old ass Mulder.
Old ass Mulder.
Yeah.
Old ass Scully. Mm-hmm. That's why
Still hot.
Still hot. Still would. Still would. That's why when people, if anyone actually knows the X-Files, and they're like, oh, is that an X-Files tattoo? Which is so horribly done. And I say, yeah, it's from the episode where they were really old. Because it's so shitty. Then I can't remember if it's Druckmann or Bruckman, but it's Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose. It's the episode of the old dude that's a psychic, and he can see how, or he's not a psychic, he can see how people will die.
Yeah.
That episode is so good because the dude who plays him is just so fucking funny when he's talking about like because Mulder's like, do you see how I'm gonna die? He's like, I don't remember exactly how it plays out, but that's like,
He's recurring, isn't he?
no, he's a one-time guy. He's a one-time guy. He's the one who one of the most memorable things of the episode is he tells Scully that he says, I don't know how this is going to happen, but apparently when I die, I'm going to be surrounded by flowers and you're going to be there. And at the end of the episode, I guess he like wrapped a plastic bag around his head so he could suffocate.
Didn't they fucking try to get him to like catch some other guy?
Yes.
And at the end, that guy that they were looking for ends up killing Druckmann.
Yes.
And he does something heroic at the end, actually, and leads to them catching the guy.
Yes.
And then Scully's like, you did it, like, you fucking helped us. And then it's him in, like, a flower bed.
Yep.
Scully there. Yeah, okay.
That's such a good episode.
It is.
Paper Hearts. I mean, Paper Hearts is really, really good. Any of the Pusher series ones is really good.
I really don't like that fucking guy.
That guy was so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Cerulean Blue is like a gentle breeze. I'm like, shit.
And every other movie I saw that guy in, he was even though if he wasn't playing a creepy character, you're just like, God damn it. His name's Nick Chinland. I remember that.
Nick Chinland.
He's one of those guys that's been in like every
Gross.
movie you've seen, but he's never been
A star.
anything more than like a D-list character.
He's
in
a character.
Movie.
They call that a character actor.
Yeah, but he's been in tons of shit.
And then I don't remember what it's called, but and I don't remember exactly how he gets this power, if you want to call it that. But it's the guy who, I think it's in the first season where his shadow, it will like swallow people up.
Oh yeah.
That's a fucking killer episode, man.
I think that was another army experiment one because remember he killed somebody because he knocked on their door. It was like somebody he wanted to help him. Mm-hmm. And like his shadow, like the way the light was behind him, cast his shadow under the door. So when they come to the door to answer the door, it's just and it's collapsed into a pile of ash.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oof.
And he starts freaking out. He's like, I didn't mean for that to happen and all that shit.
It's so good.
And they find him. He's in, it's either a bus or a train station.
Where there's no the light is like,
I remember
he's going like this the whole time looking at the screen.
Yes.
I remember that one.
And he like keeps like getting freaked out. People will get somewhat close to him because he sees like the little bit of shadow under his shoe.
Oh, I remember that actor's fucking face too.
I don't remember the actor, but I just remember that.
I
remember the person coming to the door, like going to look through the peephole and just.
Yeah, because he was knocking on the door in front of the people, and the woman was like, "Well, who's making all this commotion?"
Yeah.
And he like backs up away from the door that he's knocking on, and that's when she goes under.
Yeah,
she goes under.
That's a good one.
There's oh man, there's a lot. The X-Files is a kick-ass show.
Yeah.
and here's the thing: is like we can go back and watch those seasons, and there'll be like 3 or 4 episodes you completely forgot about. That are just certified bangers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I completely forgot about Ice until you just said it. So you just brought up Darkness Falls is a really good one too.
Ice was the first one I saw. That's why I remember it so well.
There was a VHS tape that it had Ice, Darkness Falls, and another episode. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's probably where I saw it.
But
which one's Darkness Falls though?
Darkness Falls is the one where it's a lumberjacks that are in the middle of like very deep in the woods, and it's those green mites that come out at night.
I remember that.
Oh yeah, they come out of like because like the one tree they cut down was fucking huge.
Yep, and they weren't supposed to do it.
And
and they did it.
They ended up looking at the tree,
Sinners.
like the fallen tree, and it's like the 30th ring in on this tree is just the mites,
the mold,
and they think like if something happened, like there's like like
volcanic
that happened
eruption
when like the meteor hit Earth.
Oh yeah,
it trapped that in, and that's when that tree's from and shit. And
it made me think of the fucking the corn monster from Children of the Corn.
I've never seen that movie.
Malachi. It's good.
Malachi.
He
never seen
wants
it.
You, Malachi. It's awesome.
What about the movies?
I haven't watched them.
Suck. They are so fucking bad, and it breaks my goddamn
You didn't like the first one?
heart. It was fine, but
First
that's
one's
as far
98.
as I'll
It
get.
was fine.
First one's 98.
The last one they dropped.
I don't remember.
The last one they dropped was the one with that actor Billy Connolly, the dude, the older guy from Boondock Saints, and they advertise it as this movie is going to wrap up the loose ends of the show.
It doesn't do that at all.
Because the movies, the first 2 movies never did that. It was just completely.
Were they independent stories?
They're basically
they're
basically like hour-and-a-half episodes. But this one was like, they're like, this is going to wrap up all the loose ends that they left at the end of the show.
I bet it did.
And all it is that dude Billy Connolly going like, I see a face, a man's face, and that's all it is for like his stupid Irish accent.
Yeah.
And it just sucks. I think there's a werewolf in it, and it's just fucking awful. And I went and saw it opening night, excited as hell, and was never been madder.
Crushed.
It broke my heart. The first 2 were just weak, but you're like, all right, whatever, fluke.
But
whatever.
they were basically like standalone episodes.
Yes.
They were just longer episodes.
But not even good episodes, though. It's still mid episodes. But this one here's like, oh, we're going to wrap up everything. No mention of the black oil. No mention of Samantha Mulder. None of that shit.
There was an episode where I got the impression that Mulder accepted the fact that his sister was dead.
Yeah.
I seem to remember that too.
It was I'm pretty sure it was an episode where the person was running around. It was basically like a copy of It, where it was a clown running around killing people.
Yeah.
And he, for some odd reason, at the end of the episode, he like sees her apparition like dancing in a field, and he like accepts that you're dead.
I don't know if he accepts that she's dead or accepts the fact that he will just never
find her.
We'll never know the truth because he's not going to know.
Yeah, because I feel like they explained it and then he would unexplain that.
Because I got mad because like he's like came to this realization that he'll never find out what happened to his sister. But I'm like, it's Mulder. He's gonna keep fucking looking.
Right.
Yeah.
He never found out if there was aliens 100%, but he still kept fucking looking. This is way more important than aliens. His sister. That was just like a dick tease. They kept going for 9 fucking years,
and they never wrapped it up. They never wrapped it up. Another episode that's really good. Speaking of aliens, it actually appeared in the episode or in the series. It was, I think it's called 731, but it's a 2-part. It's a man.
It's called 731.
It's oh God, I can't. All I remember is this on train, but I think Mulder is like chasing around this like Asian diplomat who has a briefcase. He gets the briefcase. The briefcase denotes that there's all these experiments on all these people. It's the proof.
And isn't on a train car?
Yes.
And then he finds a train car, and there's like an autopsy table.
Yep.
But no alien.
No. Yeah. The alien is kept in like there behind the autopsy table is like a locked room with like a little peephole.
Yeah.
And it was in there. But the thing is that if I remember correctly,
he doesn't actually see it.
Well, he sees it And there's some other like NSA agent that comes in there to like, he's like putting the piano wire around his throat trying to kill him. There's a bomb on the train. There's all these things. But Scully, at the same time this is all happening, basically finds out that there was this leper colony that they were experimenting on. And that's what's in the train is like alien human hybrid that they were experimenting on that had leprosy or something. I don't remember. Fuck yeah.
There's so much
Wasn't
meat.
there one where there was like aliens like in the episode, but they were just like, it was kind of one of the sillier episodes where like the aliens were on Earth, but they were just kind of like hiding out in an apartment, just chilling. But they were like kind of had like, seriously, it was like
just doing tags.
It might be a completely different show, but
doing mushrooms.
I just remember these two aliens just like, but they talked like normal people. There's like, oh man, they're gonna fucking find us, man. Really, just like they're just like talking like stoners, but they're never implicitly said they were stoners. But it was just one of those really weird ones, like the kind of silly goose ones that
those are fun episodes.
Sometimes they just bugged me though,
like silly goose episodes.
Because I would look forward to X-Files new episodes so much that when it became like the silly episodes, I was like, I could have been out doing something.
What were you going to do?
Yeah, like
also a valid point.
Like
very
what?
valid point, right?
What were you going to do?
But it's like you wait like all week for the new X-Files to come out, and then when it comes out, it's a silly goose episode. You're like,
this is bothering me. What was it a Pusher episode?
What?
When the lone gunmen were I think it was a Pusher episode because they were chasing somebody in Washington. And they were in a warehouse, and there was like a big shootout, and then the lone gunmen were there, and the black guy with the mustache was there. The one, I don't remember what his name is, but
Mr. I think it was just X.
Sure,
I'm pretty sure he was just X.
he said something, but anyway, the shootout happened. Somebody gets killed. And then, basically a cleanup team shows up, and they just start cleaning shit up.
Yes.
And the one guy from the lone gunman, not Frohickey, and not the long-haired guy, but the short-haired guy with the suit.
The nerdy guy.
The nerdy guy was like, so you're just gonna fucking clean this shit up and not talk like.
This is the episode where they meet Mulder, because Mulder is it's a convention, isn't it? It's like a convention of like different technologies.
Yes.
The one guy you're talking about is. I forget what it was. He was with computers. Frohickey's trying to sell like a fake cable box or something like that.
Yeah.
Frohickey and the long-haired guy are competing against one another.
In fact, it was Mulder almost got seduced by that girl.
Yes. Yeah. Looking for her daughter.
Her such so-called daughter. Yeah.
Dude, the Lone Gunman spinoff. Did you watch that, Dennis?
Yeah, we talked about it. 6 episodes, right?
Yeah. What the hell?
it just
Wasn't it like bad or something?
No, it was great.
I liked it.
It was great. It was
I like them.
It was like
They're great.
It was like kind of like along the lines of like the Silly Goose episodes.
Yeah, it was definitely like.
But it kind of sucked. Like if people didn't watch it because those 3 guys we talked about before, they weren't actors. They were guys that other people on X-Files.
They were crew guys, weren't they?
They were crew guys. Like one was like a director of photography. One guy was like
I did not know that.
One guy
That's
was
crazy.
a set designer. One dude I think did like location shots and shit. But they were just part of like the process. And then they're like, we need the lone gunman to look like normal, regular guys.
I mean,
and they were basically, and Chris Carr was like, you and you.
I mean, if you see Frohickey behind a camera like this, and you're like,
it was Frohickey and I think Langley.
I want that
guy. The ones that were like, you and you. It was like, but we kind of need somewhat of a more steady, normal looking guy. And they're like, what about so-and-so? The guy who played Byers, the ginger with the beard. They're like, let's get him. He was the one that looked, he was like the younger one that looked kind of normal.
This is going to sound stupid, but I could not imagine anyone else playing those parts.
Yeah,
like that, they're perfect for those parts.
Truly.
Yeah, they were great. And they, for like first time acting, like they did fucking great.
They did great.
But I forgot about the black dude with the mustache, Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Because I remember the episode he showed up, though, I believe it's called Deep Throat.
Yeah.
And my dad and I watched it together. He's like, Deep Throat, he's going to suck his dick later, because my dad knew about the porn movie Deep Throat, not the fact that the guy who tipped off
the Watergate.
Yeah, he didn't really know about that.
Yeah, good one, Denny.
I was like, no, it's more of a Watergate reference, not a porn reference.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a spook reference is what that's called.
But I remember the one I guess you're talking about when I was peeing, when Mr. X and the Lone Gunman matched up, and they were so fucking funny. They're like, you let this guy in here into our like fucking lair or whatever the hell they call their little
Byers.
rooms.
Byers was pissed that
Yeah.
episode, dude.
Hey, man, I'd feel betrayed too. Come
Yeah.
on.
But yo, Mr. X was the shit. He was the first guy to leak information to Mulder.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait, no, Deep Throat was.
Deep Throat was Mr. X.
No,
Was that confirmed?
No.
Yeah.
Wait. Time out. Hold on. What?
Deep Throat and Mr. X was the same guy.
Who was the guy that was feeding Mulder information? No. The guy that was
It's on
feeding
the first season.
in the first season, the white guy who got killed.
Who worked for Mr. X.
Oh, he worked for Mr. X. Oh, are you sure?
And that's why every
So
time
he's Deep Throat by proxy.
Every time like Mulder was strangely gets like information, he didn't know it would be like an anonymous source.
Oh, it was Mr.
Somehow
X.
Mr. X would end up in the episode.
He
somewhere.
always did. That's true.
So Mulder always had this inkling that Mr. X knew more, and Mr. X eventually, like towards the end of it, like I think, because he ended up getting shot by Krychek, I believe.
Yeah, because
I think he did.
Because Krychek was trying to. He was at Mulder's apartment looking for him.
Yeah, and he was like towards the end, he was like, "I know someone's coming to kill me," and he just started being blatant, like talking to Mulder, like, "Look,
This is what's
gonna
going
happen."
on.
Yeah, and yeah, he ended up getting shot.
and of course, it's Krychek.
Yeah, I hate that son of a bitch, Nicholas Lee.
He
that
stinks.
son of a
He
bitch.
killed Mulder's dad. Come
did.
on,
He
man.
did that too.
What a dick. And he killed. Or wait, did he kill Scully's sister? Or was that some other gunman? It was him and another gunman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if he did it personally, but I think he was involved in it.
What a dickhead.
Yeah. He
Scully's
always had his
sister.
hands in it. And he assumed when he first showed up as like the junior agent,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Then he kills the ski lift guy
Yup.
and leaves Mulder hanging. When he's
I think he eventually got the black oil in him.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he did too.
Krychek.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that's the last episode you see him, but I remember that specific thing where it's like a spaceship in a missile silo somewhere, and he's like locked in.
That might have been one of the movies.
Nah, was it
The
movie?
black oil was in one of the movies, one of the first two,
But it didn't get wrapped up.
but still didn't get fucking finished.
That's
Which is another thing. It's like, yo, how you gonna have a movie and still just make it part of like? There's no begin. It's not. It had the black oil in it, but it wasn't the beginning of a story or the end of a story. It was like the middle of the story. It's like if someone just watches movies and not the TV show, they'd be like,
What is this?
What is this?
What
What
is
is
this? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what, too? Honestly, shout out to Skinner.
Skinner is a fucking G.
Skinner rocked.
How many times did Mulder almost get put on his ass and Skinner fucking stepped up?
Yep.
And wasn't even a believer at first.
But he turned into one.
But he believed in fucking Fox.
He believed
Mulder,
in
dude.
Fox Mulder.
Yeah, dude.
I always forget there's an episode that revolves around him where at the beginning of it is it meets some woman at a bar and he wakes up
Oh,
next to her
yeah.
and her neck's broken.
Yeah, somebody
I
tries
always
framing him.
But I don't remember how it ever plays out. I never remember how it actually
I don't
happens.
either. Like he does get out, but at the end of the episode, the cancer guy shows up, and like fucking Skinner's like, I know you had some kind of finger to somebody. He's like, oh, I won't say I did. I won't say I did. And some really non-answers. And you're like, oh, that son of a bitch.
Hey man,
Yeah.
that guy almost got spent too, living in a. I don't remember what happened.
He ended up by honestly, I think, dying of cancer.
Raoul Bloodworth? The actor?
No, his name's William something.
He's still alive.
Wow.
No. I mean, in the show.
Oh.
He actually died of some natural cause. Like he didn't meet like some nefarious.
Oh, really?
end. He actually like died of some crazy thing, and like because I think he had like a deathbed confession of some sort, and I really think he might have died of fucking cancer.
Well, that was after the Dogged episodes, then, right? Is that like a part of wrapping it up, or is that before that?
It might have been during, but I think it was towards the end because he was part of the Dogged episodes. Because the only recurring thing you had, Krychek showed up in one or two. Skinner was in all of them, and the gunman and cancer guy.
What was the reason? But
What a great character.
The reason why those episodes happened was because Scully was pregnant,
Scully was
right?
pregnant.
And Mulder was having like some sort of contract.
Contract beef, yeah. He wanted more money, and Fox was like, nah. Fox, like, not Fox Mulder, but Fox, the
The network.
was just like, no, we're
It's
not.
just David Duchovny looking in the
Like
mirror.
they were fighting about it. Yeah.
No, you give me more.
But they were fighting
you
about
don't
it.
deserve more.
And like, I guess because he was renegotiating a contract, and he's like, all right, then I'm walking.
Which is fucking nuts.
Suck
Yeah.
it, Roger Ailes, fucking idiot.
Yeah. So Duchovny walked because they wouldn't.
I always have like these, of course, like I think the X-Files was like the biggest show at the time, but I don't know.
It was.
Okay, it was?
It was like a goddamn phenomenon. Are you kidding me?
Okay, so
They're just printing money. They should have
Yeah.
just given it to him.
yeah, but what
Fox had X-Files and The Simpsons, and that was like basically what was like the breadwinners at that time.
But why? I mean, it's crazy that you're like, oh shit, we're not going to negotiate. Let's bring in these two actors that no one's ever heard of to
Yeah.
continue the
They
series.
tried it.
The girl, her name's Annabeth Gish, had been in like a bunch of like mid-level movies and shit like that. But the other guy was just T1000
Yeah,
and
he
hadn't
was
done much of
T1000.
anything else.
Am I missing out? Are those good episodes?
They are. They are. They're not as good as,
Right.
but they're still great episodes.
Okay.
Doggett's way more a better character than Reyes. But Reyes does eventually grow on you.
But Reyes is the believer.
Yeah.
Doggett is the skeptic.
Like, Reyes thinks she's like a sensitive when it comes to like psychic shit, you know, like a sensitive.
Right.
And Doggett's just like, nah, all this shit's fucking fake. But eventually he's like Scully, he starts seeing some off the wall shit and he's like, what the fuck? But he's also like, there's a lot more conspiracy shit than like Monster of the Week episodes. or
Right.
shit like that.
It's more like the men behind the curtain type of episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
But they're
like
still-
that behind
they,
the curtain.
They
shit.
still fucking rule. They're good.
Now,
Not
what-
as good as, but it's good.
What'd you think about the reboot? I thought it was good.
I didn't watch it.
I never
didn't even know
I
it
didn't even know it
existed.
existed till right now.
With who?
With Mulder and Scully.
Oh, I did watch it,
It was like 7 episodes.
and I was
think.
just like, all right, it's fine, but it's same thing as the movies. It didn't really reference much of the original series.
Right.
So you're just kind of like, so what's the point of this?
Yeah, it wasn't terrible, but I thought it was. I was watching it thinking, oh god, they're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
I didn't think they fucked it up. I thought it was all right.
It was good, but it wasn't great. There was a lot of hype about it, and then just
Didn't Scully? Okay, hold on. Scully had in the X-Files. She had a kid, right?
yeah. And they never. I don't think they ever like said who the father was, because I remember they was alluding to the fact that it was like a alien baby or someone had. Well, like,
Fuck yeah.
because remember that one episode, like the one she was just gone for like 2 or 3 episodes, and no one knew where the fuck she was, and then they find her on like a
Space Mountain.
like a table, and all of a sudden she's like pregnant, and they're just, they keep alluding
Well,
to
that's
the
later.
fact. Yeah, towards the end of of their time on the show, and they were just alluding to the fact, because I don't even think Mulder was really part of it. It was mostly Skinner looking for her, and they find her, and like they keep alluding to the fact that it's an alien, but it's not like an alien fucked her and like that. But the fact that the people behind the curtains guys had kidnapped Scully
Inseminated.
and did one of their
Yeah.
experiments to put an alien embryo in her,
like a host.
but they never actually said like. She never actually said like, "Oh, this is." She never came out herself, said like, "Oh, like I got fucked by this dude."
This is Cronus's baby.
This dude cream pied me or nothing like that. She like they never actually said who the baby belonged to, and then like the baby was born and the baby disappeared, and that was more shit, and it just got confusing.
Yeah, can we have some like finality, like conclusion? Like there's some
Give me a little.
closure. Yeah.
Just a,
This
just
was
a
like-
morsel.
There's so many loose ends in
That's
that show.
one thing that's better about television shows of the last few years is that they have a beginning and an end. It might be 5, 6, 7 seasons, but it does. The last episode wraps
Wraps
shit
it up.
Back then, like the 90s, shows would just get canceled and then it would just end. So you had no finality and shit like that.
That's what I didn't like about Seinfeld.
oh, the
is-
way that it wrapped it up.
Well,
Yeah.
sitcoms never wrap like that until recent years.
Well, Frasier did.
Frasier did. Yeah.
Fucking. That is. I think I like Frasier more than the X-Files.
Different beasts.
It's different beasts, but it's. Have you ever watched Frasier?
Yes.
I've meant to, because it's Evan Zook's favorite show over the Simpsons.
Have I ever jerked off to Frasier?
Oh, because of
Yeah. Yes.
What? Because of Daphne?
And Roz.
Roz number 1. Yeah.
Both.
Daphne, not my flavor. Roz is so. oof.
Daphne, I think the accent took her. Daphne's accent took her from like a 6 to a 10. Just that whole, oh, Niles. You're like, oh, God. You're like, Jesus Christ. Roz was a dirty bird.
This is how into Roz I was. I have fed Roz's name into an AI image generator.
Oh, dude, I would fucking bait to that shit constantly.
She's always got like 3 fingers or something like that. But I'm like, God damn.
You just ignore the hands and just see
3
those,
fingers to love you with.
you see those perfectly symmetrical tits. You're just like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Because she was like mean and sarcastic too, which made her even hotter.
That's your favorite shit. You love a mean
Frasier-
bitch.
Dude, my heart's beating thinking about her. Holy shit.
But the real breakout of Frasier was the dog,
Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, fuck yeah, dude. Eddie rips.
Dude, that's a good example of a show that wraps up properly.
Isn't
Everyone
it like his dad dies at the end last episode, right?
No. The last episode is he's met, I forget her name, but he's met a woman and she's moving to I can't remember where she's moving to. But he ends up being like, I'm going to follow you out there. And so he quits his job at the radio station. His dad meets that really wild woman that's like really loud and but they're super into each other. They get married. Daphne and Niles finally tied a knot.
Yeah, dude.
Like it's all tied up. Like everyone is happy. Everything is good.
How many seasons did that run?
I think
Bunch.
9, maybe 9 or 10.
It had to be syndicated then.
Yeah, it was another Fox
That
show.
show did well.
Well, no, it was whatever Cheers was, because I know that's how the only reason they could keep the same character from Cheers.
That's another reboot that happened. But I didn't watch that one.
Cheers?
No. Frasier.
Oh,
Frasier had a reboot.
I did not know
wanna
that.
See that.
Yeah, it's not none of the. It's just what the hell's his name? Kelsey Grammer. It's just Kelsey Grammer. Because what the hell's what's the actor's name for his dad?
John something.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's gone. Niles didn't want to do it. Daphne didn't want to do it. What these actors' names are? I don't know.
David
names.
Hyde Pierce was Niles.
Niles. You got to get on that.
Yeah, Frasier was good. Yeah, I was all about.
I could do a 6-hour episode on Frasier.
I was all about Frasier's wife.
You and Evan Zook could have an autism off.
I was all
for
about
Frasier.
Frasier's girl on Cheers. I don't know. I think she came on a couple episodes of Frasier the show. Lilith.
Yes, she did.
That's where Evan got his cat's name from.
She was such a bitch.
Lilith.
She was an
mean.
ice queen.
Yeah, she was.
Shout out to Evan's cat though. Cool cat.
Oh, shout out to all
Cool
cats.
cat. Cool cat.
You got another thing prepared for us, right?
Oh, I do.
What is this?
Now,
I'm scared.
you're a listener.
Yes, I am. Oh, I
think-
know this guy. Yep.
I think you're our first listener
I'm your first Patreon.
and
Yep.
patron.
Actually, I think I was the third patron.
You
Or
were-
second.
You
I
were
was
first patron.
I was the
First
first?
to me.
Wow.
By the way, that's patreon.com/IRRANDILL, $3 a month.
$3.
Bonus episodes.
Bonies.
You get
Other-
things like this.
Nice.
Right? Now, first timers, they get 12 of the hardest questions they'll ever be asked
I'm
in
ready.
their entire life.
Hit me with it.
This thing's fucking almost full.
That's crazy that you filled a notebook. with
Right?
these.
So does it have all of them from the very beginning?
Yep.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So I do that so I don't, if I come up with one, I'm not like, oh, did I already ask that? I go look back at all the old ones.
There's so many questions,
Yeah.
though.
It's fucking pain in the ass. Here we are. Right there it says ting. Ting ting.
Gripping inquiries.
Are you ready, buddy?
Let's hit it.
All right. Now this one here is
I don't know
more
any of these, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks. Now this one here is more of a, we'll see how smart you are, how worldly you are.
Oh, God.
Question number 1 is our science question. What color is horseshoe crab blood? The answer may surprise you.
Blue.
That is the correct answer. I encourage everybody to Google image search horseshoe crab blood.
Poor
Google
guys.
image search it.
Fuck you up.
Ugh, blue
Fuck you up.
blood.
And I'm not talking blue like dark blue, like blood.
It's
our
like bright
looks
blood?
when it's in a vein. It's
Bright blood.
It looks like that shit in RoboCop 2 that would inject into their necks.
Ooh,
Like electric blue.
Dude, it's fucking gnarly.
not doing that.
But question number 2, this is more just, getting to know you question. Question number 2, ever go to the store
Couple times, once or twice. Yeah,
That's what's up.
if I'm feeling it, you know.
What's your favorite store?
The store.
The store.
Yeah, dude.
Dumbass.
Stupid asshole. Now, I don't know how much you know about history. like
Everything.
American history. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know that Jackie Kennedy was allergic to batteries? That's Jackie Kennedy Onassis, who married Aristotle Onassis after JFK.
Jackie Onassis with the fattest of asses was allergic
True.
to batteries.
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah. Did you know that?
How about salt? Was she allergic to salt?
No.
A salt and battery?
Well, that gets you the correct answer. Right off the bat. Question number 4. What type of cornball has grandparents?
Oh my god.
Grow up, dude.
Yeah. Come on.
What are you, Rudy
loser.
DeMeo?
Where's that guy?
No clue. I haven't heard anything about
That's a
him.
real person.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we should do one day. You should do an episode of Where Are They Now?
Oh,
Dude, you should do an episode of Where Are They Now?
I hope he's flourishing.
Yeah. Dude, weren't you telling me that you ran into Joe Megginson not too long ago? And
Yeah, Tom was with me.
yeah. We ran into him at Dom's
Dom's Pizza, yeah.
with Bill. Yeah.
Yeah, went in there and he was drinking with Bill Durant.
was he still Joe Megginson, or was he like?
Yes, but he's way more subdued and tolerable now.
He's a listener now.
Yeah, he is. He's a great
What's
dude.
up, Mr.
Yeah,
Megginson?
I like him a
he's not
lot.
a punisher like he used to be. He's
Yeah.
just fucking chill as shit. I think
He's cool.
I don't know. Maybe he started coming more. I don't know.
That will do it.
Yeah,
That will do
That's
it.
true.
this next one's a personal question, so if you don't feel like answering it, I understand. Have you ever run a faucet at full strength when you piss, so everyone else at the function thinks you have a brutal stream?
I haven't, but that's a really good flex.
Yeah,
It's a great idea.
I didn't even think about that.
they just whoosh, you're like, God damn, is he putting his hips into it? God.
Have you ever pretended to throw up in the bathroom with just water in your mouth?
I have. Got out of
No,
school with it once.
But what I used to do was, I'm pretty good at the thing where you just shove fingers down your throat and you get a little bit of something. And as long as they hear like that noise, like,
Yep.
like, all right.
See, my trick was you put water in your hands and then you make the gagging noise, so there's a delay.
And you go like that. Oh, no, I just put it in my mouth.
Oh, I never thought to do.
Because then you get the splash.
Well, I never like would come up with enough like
That's clever.
bile or whatever to
You're
get
thinking.
like a real good splash. But I didn't think about that.
It took a lot for my parents to let me stay home from school. So I got inventive.
oh, my
There's-
parents didn't give a fuck.
There are some kids that when they throw up, they don't make a noise. They're just like this. And they just throw up. There's no.
I think
Sometimes
babies do that. It's called spitting up.
times that I've drank too much and that's what's coming up. Seriously, you'll just open your mouth and it's just like, bleh. There's no noise.
I've been there
There's
for
no
that.
regurgitation or anything like that. It's
Out
just
my
like,
out my car window on the
Yeah.
way back from Wilkes Bar.
Yeah.
I think.
and,
Are we telling the same story?
and shockingly, if you've been drinking cold beer all night and it comes out cold. It's fucking strange.
Wait, but it's in your warm
That
body.
doesn't make
Right?
sense. I don't get that.
It's because I don't know if you can see the mountains on this.
I
kind of
do.
Coors Light.
And they're blue.
That's where it comes from, dude.
Ah, okay.
So it comes from the cold ass mountains. But it's fucking actually quite refreshing.
Sure.
Cold vomit.
Coming out.
That's like how I always on one of the first
Therapeutic.
episodes I was talking about how great it would be if you had icy shits.
I don't know, man.
Think about this. You crush
I don't know.
you
But go
crush a
ahead.
bunch of Indian food, right?
Right.
You just
Will-
crush a bunch
Will-
of Indian food.
I have.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
True.
And then the next day there's repercussions with your asshole.
It hurts. It's a little
Now
burning.
imagine it will come out but ice cold.
Like ice cold, like frost, like it's gonna freeze your ass cold,
Let's
or it's like
say
cooling and refreshing.
The coldest
Thir-
setting on
so-
a faucet.
32.1
So
degrees.
not like it was in a freezer, but it was
I
in,
could do that.
It was in the crisper of your refrigerator.
I could do that.
Yeah. Like if you have a hot butthole from chicken wings or Indian food, like the ice, you'd be like, ooh.
you might be onto something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ice poops, dude.
Now, what about the irritation afterwards, after the wipe? Is that
that's
still
when you got
hot?
to get like a medicated wipe or something.
I got the Prep
Yeah.
H for that.
Yeah, there's only so much science can do.
You get a lot of Hemis, Tom?
No, it just feels
I
good
do.
to wipe with.
No.
I do because I camp out on toilets. I read. I fucking
Oh yeah. I'm done shitting in
Lost, yeah.
10 minutes, maybe, and that's
Yeah,
probably
10's a long one.
Yeah, probably 5 minutes, and I'm just sitting there fucking around for the rest of it.
yeah. There's times I used to go call either John Hassan or Matt Bennett, and I would only call them when I was shitting, and I would sit on the phone talking to them for an hour, hour and a half.
You're just sitting there.
Yeah,
In the toilet.
legs falling asleep. Hemi's out the ass. Well, let's get back to
Sorry,
back
I mean,
on-
it's-
question number 6. Name 2 things you have in common with the Doritos Locos Taco.
I'm tasty.
True.
I'm crunchy.
True. Correct answer. Crunchy's a motherfucker. Bigger creep, Pierre from Stardew Valley or Tom Nook from Animal Crossing?
Tom Nook, Animal Crossing.
True.
The landlord. Fuck Tom Nook.
Pierre,
All my homies
Pierre
hate
is
Tom
a
Nook.
dickhead though.
Yeah, no, he's a dickhead, but he's not. He's
He's not sneaky like Tom Nook.
yeah. Tom Nook's creepy.
Nook's up to some shit.
Yeah,
Nook
he's-
is shiesty.
That's a motherfucker.
He's got a hole in the mirror of the bathroom, looking through it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got mirrors on his shoes.
Yeah.
He's a fucking creep, dude.
I hate that motherfucker.
Wait for girls to wear sundresses and shit. Fucking freak. Now, I don't know if you get into politics and stuff like that, but what if Ted Cruz was named Ted Shoes?
Would he be related to Mike Sneakers?
That sounds like a hit, like a reference that I don't know.
That's a deep cut.
You don't know Mike Sneakers?
No.
From Double Burger Avenue?
I don't.
You never been to Double Burger Avenue?
No.
the Double Burger Avenue that has the biggest sandwich ever in the history of mankind.
We talked about that sandwich for so long.
Oh my God!
What is happening right now?
I don't.
Well, Double Burger Avenue is at this is I don't know if you've been there.
New
It's
Jersey.
It's on Moosetown Planet.
So Maine.
No, we went to go. I did a guest vocal spot on Mike Murrow's old band Bad Blood's record, and on our way there, we stopped at this. What was it again?
No, it was Sad State of Affairs, wasn't it? Wasn't it Sad State of Affairs?
I don't think I did Sad State of Affairs. No, it was fucking. Which one was Jimmy Houston in?
Bad Blood.
Bad Blood.
Yeah. Okay.
Because remember, like the gang courses, I kept yelling bees instead of gang courses, and it was cracking him up. But we stopped at, I think it wasn't like a Wawa or a 7-Eleven. It was just some weird ass corner gas station deli type thing. And Tingle just brought this pre-wrapped sandwich that was just
It was
fucking huge.
it was like the size of the fucking heater
It
almost.
looked like Homer's sandwich from that episode of The Simpsons.
I'm listening.
And
Oh
like the whole time, like he's just in there crushing it. And when we get to the house and whatever, and I just kept like stopping conversation. Mill was like, "That's a big fucking sandwich."
That's a huge sandwich.
it over and
I
over
don't
and
remember
over
where Mike's sneakers. Oh no, there was a guy walking down the street with huge
On
white
Double Burger
sneakers
Avenue.
on Double Burger Avenue.
This was before
huge sneakers.
This was like you know how like Dad's New Balances. It was like those size, but they were like fucking huge. Like those shoes had to weigh like
The
2
Matt
pounds a piece.
Foxes.
They had to wear like 2 pounds a piece. They were fucking immense.
and he may or may not have worked for the Gentle Dentist.
Where was he? Where was General? Oh, that was that one
Trap
venue
YMCA.
where you beat up what's his name from CDC.
No, that was not the same night.
Okay.
Trap YMCA was the night that we went and we were driving. We had turned out of the YMCA or WYMCA,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it was. We were leaving. Dead and Berry had played,
Yeah.
and for some odd reason, someone pointed out the General Dentist sign, and Steve Graham just gets out of the car and drop kicks through the General Dentist sign. It was like this beautiful wooden sign.
Yeah. But it was one of those ones that's like it's kind of hanging off the post, like you know how realtor signs, it's like it'd be like 2 links and like a sign that actually would move in the wind. But it was nice. It was like gold embossed and shit, like the lettering.
Yo, he went right through
he
it.
just did this drop kick. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That was great, dude. So
Those are the kind of antics I had in high school.
god damn, dude.
Things of destruction.
I was
Fun.
trying to tell him. I was trying to
Destruction.
explain
Boy
to him.
stuff.
I was trying to explain to him about the old kid.
Oh, and Wolf come?
Wolfcom, I have picture proof of that. Old kids, I think we were at Denny's or something like similar, and there was just this. We were sitting there, we were eating. It was after a show. It was like super early in the morning, like 2 a.m. or
Yep.
something. And there was something that looked like a fucking like 8-year-old at the bar area, like the bar, not like a bar, but like you know, like the counter,
Yeah,
at like
yeah,
a
yeah,
diner
yeah,
type
yeah.
place. And we were just like, why is there like a fucking 8-year-old here by themselves?
Yeah, he was by himself.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then not only was it not a small boy, but it was an old woman. And then she turned around, and Tingle's just like, "It's an old kid." And I I fucking lost my shit. It was seriously like it turned around. It was just like
It
old lady
turned around
with like a short gray hair. It's like
Man,
what the fuck?
that person was having a rough night.
No kidding.
Saw some fucking living, dude. It looked like Elliot from E.T.
Yeah,
but just
no home.
but somehow a lady. Yeah. God damn it, dude.
That rules.
Shout out.
Mike. Shout out to her and Mike Sneakers.
Speaking of history, how often do you think about the song from Ferris Bueller's Day Off that goes chick chick chicka?
Oh fuck! I haven't thought about it in a long time.
All the
but
time.
I'm screwed now.
There you go.
I like the part where
Yeah.
I like the part where it breaks down later, and it's like
Did I send that to our group chat?
maybe.
That song? Like this song still slaps like 50 years later.
I need to
Song
find out what
slaps.
it's.
They're from fucking Sweden.
Huh?
They're like they're a Swedish band.
Of course they are.
Fucking weird.
Of course
Old
they
as
are.
shit.
That's
Anyway,
Swede.
is it true that at the U of D you got your bachelor's degree in cheese?
Cheese a slice. No.
Correct answer. All right. We're coming down to the back end here.
Okay.
Question number 11. This is more of me asking you a personal question on my behalf.
Lots of personal questions here. Okay.
This is more personal to me.
These are curated.
Yes. Should I make a buddy cop movie about a goose and a lad with Down syndrome and call it Tarred and Feathered?
Yes.
He's so feathered because he's a goose.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Weinstein, are you paying
Holy
attention?
shit.
Yeah, Tarred and Feathered.
Oh my God.
Now, finally,
Yeah. Big time.
finally,
Victory lap.
I need you to finish this Moby lyric.
Okay.
Correct answer. Perfect score.
Wow. Perfect score.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Also would have accepted
There's a part where they sound guys goes, sun, beautiful, moon.
Wait, I don't remember. Wait,
Moon or beautiful?
He says it way slower. He's
Yeah.
like, more beautiful.
Yeah.
this is the same song?
Yeah.
It's a band called Yellow, without the W at the end.
Man.
And the song's called Oh Yeah. It's a fucking
Yeah.
certified fucking club hit.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's basically a sensation.
I love it.
Now I have a question for you. I was thinking about this the other day. Speaking of from a while ago, Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana.
Didn't you used to ride my ass about liking Nirvana, and you kind of like Nirvana now? Is that a thing, or am I wrong?
You're right. I still am not a huge fan of Nirvana.
But what turned your tide? Whoa.
As you know, I'm a huge fan of the Melvins and
Yes.
stuff like that. Matt Bennett, we were on a car ride somewhere, and he's like, just listen, just check this out, just listen to it, just shut up about because normally I would bring up Nirvana, I'd be like,
You're like-
sucks.
you're like,
But
fuck, Kurt sucks.
I
Well-
always like the song that they put on the Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead just put out a comp album. It wasn't for the
Sappy.
movie.
Sappy.
No, it was I hate myself and I want to die.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And the riff in it is just so fucking good. But I
they've
never
got
liked
riffs.
I never liked his vocals. But Matt played, I think it was Bleach for me.
Bleach rules.
And he's like, look, put the vocals aside. I get it. But just listen to the riffing. And I was just like, yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Their demo for that album is also really fucking heavy.
Yeah, so he was just playing me all this early shit, and he was just like, just listen, because it's like slower.
There's like a lot of
harder.
sludge. There's like sludge
Yeah.
aspects because Dale Crover from the Melvins
played-
and him they had a band before Nirvana called Fecal Matter,
Yeah.
and that's like all like sludge. It's all
Yes.
sounds very Melvin-esque.
Yeah.
Him being Kurt.
Him being Kurt. Yeah, him being Kurt. What's HW? Hardware?
Homework.
Oh, homework.
Didn't fucking Crover play on at least one Nirvana thing, or was it the guy from Mudhoney?
I don't remember.
It was
I know
one of the early drummers.
Dale Crover might. I don't remember. That's a good question. Dale Crover definitely. No, he's on some recordings, but I can't remember what. He might be on a Bleach recording, maybe.
Because I don't think he also was a
Chad-
bass player too.
Chad Channing. God damn.
That was the first drummer.
That was the first actual
But
legit.
then they had that
drummer.
one dude that was in a shitload of Seattle bands that joined like the military, who left Seattle music to join the
Evan.
Evermin is his last name. I forget his first name.
Jason Everman?
Yes.
Yes.
And he
Yeah.
also did time, I believe, in Soundgarden early on.
Yep.
And like he was like in all those early Seattle bands, but then just bailed and joined the army and became a career army guy.
And you fuck with Mudhoney too, don't you?
Love Mudhoney.
I would never saw that. I never saw that coming. I would never see you in Mudhoney, but that makes me so
I
happy.
love the really old stuff, and then the later kind of cowpunk type shit.
Yeah.
It started growing on me. Over time.
Yeah. They're good.
Yeah. I used to love that Super Fuzz Big Muff record.
So good.
When you're a
Constantly.
Dino Jr. guy, it makes
I
sense.
love Dinosaur Jr. That's not really fucking.
No,
though.
but if you like that band, you usually like other bands like that.
Well, they were touring with each other all the time.
Oh yeah.
They're always touring with each other. What is this? What's this slip we got? What's HW? Homework. Well, what is that?
Every episode.
Remember the bands I sent
bands.
you?
Yeah, the things I didn't listen to.
Yeah, I
All right.
said
Fine.
Yeah, I said you don't have to.
It's optional.
There's some stuff you'll probably do from memory.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know.
there's a lot of. That's a good point. There's new stuff on here, but every week we assign Dennis and I assign each other a piece of comedy and a piece of music, or vice versa,
Right.
to report back on the following week to show our listeners new shit to possibly check out.
Bing bang.
And then we'll ask our guests to partake as well.
Hit me with it.
Last week was the dildo recital number
5.
5. Yeah, the end of the year rap show where we doing over our top lists.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you want to get? So we had Mike Morrow, Larry Wachecki, and Matt Bennett here.
We should just go in seating order. Start Mike, Larry, Matt.
Oh yeah, Mike was next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy motherfucker. Shout out Steve Purple.
We kind of have assigned seating by now.
Oh, true.
They're on. Murrow's on all the time. I love it.
Yeah, he's basically.
He's more than welcome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he'll hear this
He's
too.
such a-
You know that.
Yeah.
He's a
Murrow.
shout out to his dad too.
Rick,
Shout out to Rick Morrow.
the legend.
I don't know him, but
He's a-
shout out to him.
He's a listener, dude.
Rick.
Yeah, he fucking loves us. Rick rules, dude. Shame he's Italian.
He
but
does.
which I forget which
Dirty people.
Mike brought. I have all of them, but I forget which ones he brought to the table.
Well, I'll start low and go high then, because he gave us 2 records. Everybody gave us a piece. Well, everybody but Matt gave us a piece of their favorite things of the end of the year.
Yeah.
One of Mike's was bubble tea and cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
We should have killed each other, is what it's called.
And he gave us 2 other records too, right?
He gave us one other.
I got 2 here.
It might be somebody else's then.
Oh.
But my first note was the first song kicked in, and I was like, okay, it's going to be like that. And
Oh,
the
it's called "We Should Have Killed Each Other." Did you say that? Oh, my bad. Sorry.
second song was a bit of a better omen. Third song was even better. But then by the fourth song, I was like, never mind. As cool as the record was, it just wasn't my thing like that. It's very peaceful, but some of the songs were kind of snoozers, like a little bit too much. And I feel like being a hypocrite not liking this, because I definitely like bands similar to this one, but I don't know.
Is it like ambient or?
It's like, would you say it's like, it's kind of gazy, but with heavier guitars?
Yeah.
But very subdued vocals.
Very laid back.
I gave it a 5.
I'll get into that.
Out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bubble tea and cigarettes. We should have killed each other. First off, band name, album title, great.
Yeah.
I ate a 25 milligram gummy and fell in love listening to this record. Also, if a Chinese dude listened to this record, would he be considered a shoegasian? Double PS. Also, this record makes me so sleepy because it's so mad chill. I didn't get through this record in one sitting because I fell asleep twice listening to it. Not because I didn't like it, but just because
It puts you down.
you
I
there.
was on edibles, and then like it's so low key and relaxed that you're just like,
It gets you there.
but it's just so relaxing. Like it would be a great end of the workday defrag, just fucking
Right.
calm down. Record.
I would have to
Decompress,
be,
baby. Decompress down.
Dude,
I'd have to be out of my car in my house.
dude, like
before I
a
put it
fucking
on.
nice cup of tea.
That
Just
sounds,
chilling.
that sounds
Ooh,
nice.
Sweatpants.
Sweatpants.
Hoodie?
I'm listening.
Oh, you're so good, dude. Yeah, I gave it a 7.
Fleece blanket.
I gave it a 7.3 for some.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was-
More than 7 1/4, but not a half.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he gave us.
He also gave us Future Terror,
Oh, he did give us. He gave us 2 records.
Degenerating Shithole.
Yeah,
That's a good name.
My first note, this is that shit. it's not exactly grinding, but it's definitely schmoovin'. It gives sort of like a Terrorizer vibe, but I also hear like
Nice.
a metallic hardcore influence similar to a Mammoth Grinder. I'd almost go so far as to call it like crossover grind.
It has a bit of a D-beat vibe to it too.
I welcome songs like this in my future daily mixes or playlists. 8 out of 10. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Sounds awesome.
I thought the drum sound on it was for that type of music. Normally, like the drums are like kind of flat.
Or buried.
But it was just fucking big.
It's mixed perfectly.
Yeah, and it's not like it has like the good drums, like the good bass drum sound, where it kind of sounds like a bouncing basketball and not like the clicky drum. You know what I mean?
Right.
But Future Terrorizer wrote, if Mike Murrow hears another record like this and doesn't tell me instantly, I'm gonna fuck him up. The Sacrament is a dumb hard song, 10 out of 10 record. It's, I think it's more of like a kind of like a D-beat style record.
Yeah.
Mixed with like hardcore punk.
Yes.
But I just think it's a fucking ripper through and through.
It's grind, but it's not like brutal truth grind.
What is this band called?
Future Terror.
Future Terror.
Yeah.
I gotta take
It
notes.
took me a while to find this record, but
I sent you a picture
I found
of all these bands.
Yeah.
So
I
you got
found
it.
all their
I know,
other
but-
releases, and then eventually
You guys did the homework for me already. I'm
Yeah.
going to check out the ones I like.
I did
Sure.
track this down finally, but it fucking rips, dude. It is super, super good. And I listened to all their other records too. They have two more full lengths and like a 7-inch. Just as good.
Okay.
It's super fucking awesome.
Okay.
He also brought something to, I don't know if you maybe you didn't write this down, but he brought the band Death Certificate.
No, that was Larry.
Was it?
Yeah, it was like an aside. I'll start there.
Oh, did you actually do that end of the record he brought?
Yeah,
Okay.
because this is a short note. Yup. Good is real good, but it has some skips, but 7 out of 10. I like it.
Death Certificate, self-titled 2024.
It's just
The end of-
it's an EP.
The end of No Funeral is harder than Tungsten, and Homer Simpson vocals rule. Another 7.3 out of 10. What the fuck?
Are you okay?
It had like the Homer Simpson vocals. Like,
Yeah.
When that's done well, I love that
it's
style.
great, and this is really good. But the thing is, I like a short release, but it's so short that by the time you're like super stoked on it, it's
over.
Is it like 11, 12 minutes?
It's like it's 6 songs.
I think maybe 7 or 8 minutes.
It might be less than 10 minutes. Yeah,
I
which
think
is
it's less than
awesome.
10 minutes. And like normally, like, all right, cool, get in, get out. You did your job. But this one, I was like, not only could I have gone double that length, but I could have gone like triple that length. It was just, god damn it, it was over too fucking quick. But it ripped. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. He also gave us Gouge Away's new record, Deep Sage. And I said, I have to actually bow out of this one because I know the drummer very well. Shout out Tommy Cantwell. He also played drums for Axis from Florida. I toured with
They're
them
a good band.
them for a month straight, and I kept in contact with him for a long time. If you're a drummer and you're listening to this show, check out his YouTube show, The Pretty Cool Drum Show. It's awesome.
Is there pretty cool drums on it?
Yeah. And the song A Welcome Change was my favorite, even with the tambourine. I give it
Yeah.
question mark out of 10.
Come on, you got it right.
No, I have to be impartial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was okay. It's just kind of like, all right. As my whole attitude to listening to it was like, it's good, I guess. And it just there was no hook, no fucking moment where it just sunk in, and I was like, this is great. But it wasn't bad.
They definitely aren't going for catchy.
No, but wasn't saying like catchy, but there's just no moment where like the release caught me and just like made me really get into it. But it was fine.
What's it in the vein of? Like, what is it like a band that it sounds like?
What would you say?
It's hard to say. Because there's
Is
not,
it that it's like that unique?
It's like hardcore punk, but it's like also got like they get a little artsy fartsy.
Yeah.
in parts. But not douchey.
yeah.
Or like
yeah,
when they're
yeah.
trying
It
too hard.
works.
Like when they're not trying too hard. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
He's one of the best drummers I've ever met.
I've heard other stuff by this band and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But this one here was just kind of all right.
I definitely
Middle of the
prefer,
road.
I definitely
Yeah.
prefer the other stuff in the catalog.
They had one I think it's something about sugar was the title.
That's the other album. It's
Love
good.
sugar.
Burnt Sugar or something like that.
Burnt Sugar.
Yeah, that was good.
It's a good ass
And
record.
I like that a lot. Bless you.
Thank you.
But
There's some burnt sugar.
yeah, it was good. Just like it was just all right, you know. But you know, it didn't suck.
Was this a newer release
yeah,
of theirs?
this was. I think
Brand
this was
new.
his best of the year. I think.
It was on there.
Yeah, I gave it a 5.5. It was like it was good.
Not a 5.3.
Not a 5.3.
You got the
I was
0.5
sober
this
for
time?
this point, and sadly, I was sober for the end of this too.
Did you want to? So that means you want to get into Matt's now.
Cut it in post.
We were having a discussion about bands that fell off completely on this episode, and we were talking about Connecticut hardcore. And
We could write a book.
yeah, and
It's called the Bible of
so
Riffs.
I was going through the bands I thought fell off really hard, and Matt, being the wiseacre that he is, assigned us Death Threats, Now Here Fast, and Hatebreed's Concrete Confessional. Because
Is Now Here Fast? That's
the last
that's
one.
that's but that's a while. That's still a while ago, right?
I think
Yeah, it's like
fourth one.
it's like 04 it's either 04, 07 or 08. I don't remember.
closer to 08, I think.
It might be 08 or yeah.
I don't even remember that. I mean, I definitely listened
Beast
to it. I don't
Security
remember
was,
it.
I think, 2000.
Now Here Fast has like All Hell Breaks Loose, Bloody Knuckles, and
There was the two fucking great ones, and then there was the one, and then there was this one.
I think it was like
and
the,
Dead Last. Dead fucking Last. That song's on there. I always had a soft spot for this record because it's the first Death Threat record I ever heard.
I'm sorry.
But
now that you've heard all the other records,
it doesn't compare. But
Yeah.
right?
I still
right.
have a soft spot for it.
Death Threat, Now Here Fast. This band has 4 albums about being born to lose and coming in dead fucking last. My brother in Christ, you're 50 years old. It's time to find new subject matters. This is seriously some of the most poorly written lyrics I've heard out of hardcore, and I just listened to a modern Hatebreed record. I wonder if this guy, I really, really wonder if this guy started from the bottom or got betrayed by ones he trusted. Fucking boo. Musically, it's slightly better than God and Government, but it's still
Yeah.
utterly forgettable. So forgettable, it almost makes you forget about the first 2 releases and how fucking great they were. Sad, sad, sad. 2.1.
Whoa, it's 0.1.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sucks.
Worse lyrics than Sworn Enemy.
No, because I think this guy's actually genuinely trying.
Right.
Whereas Sworn Enemy had "I'll rip your ass apart." I'll watch you scream and shout, and it's like
Hell
the
yeah.
whole lyrics. Is like,
Hell yeah,
and the
you
name,
will.
of the name of the fucking record wasn't "Pause." I would be like shocked. And Sworn Enemy also had the fear, the horror, the tragedy
Of 9/11.
9/11.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Oh my
hard
God.
ass song though.
It is a hard ass
But-
song.
Dude, Death Threat's Last Days and Peace and Security are unfuckwithable records.
Yep.
And they're so good that you can overlook the bad lyrics.
It's the like I've yet to find a bad Death Threat riff though.
God and Government in this record has bad songs. But
Riffs, not songs.
Bad riffs, too.
Riffs. I don't think
there's bad riffs all over it too. But the thing is like this, like, the lyrics to this honestly sounds like he realized in the vocal booth, like, oh, I gotta come up with lyrics for this shit, and just stepped outside and just fucking wrote down some shit real quick.
Sure.
He tries too hard to rhyme, and instead of making something that's actually interesting to hear,
His cadence is already interesting.
his cadence is great, and
Nobody sounds like
it's
him.
always
No.
made that band stick out from all the rest. And like I said, the first 2 records are fucking untouchable.
Yeah.
Good hardcore
But
records.
were you able to get into his voice right away, or did it take some getting used to? It took some getting used to for me.
Well, I'm a child of the 90s,
So
so
you-
hardcore vocals were a bit
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all like, if I had heard that shit in like 2000, I'd have been like, what the fuck? But
Yeah. I forgot about Rick to Life.
yeah,
God.
I love Rick to Life, and I love his vocals. I will die on that hill.
I heard it and I was like, it's so different that I do like it.
Yeah. And it was like, it didn't really fit the music, but it also did.
You're right.
At the
Uh-huh.
same
Right.
time.
Yep.
I didn't really see that come back again until Trapped Under Ice, where the vocal style was so different
Yeah, no.
than the music being played, but it just worked
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Pulling Teeth's another one. I don't know if something's going on in Baltimore, but like the vocals didn't really match the music, but they're also perfect for the music.
Yeah, it couldn't be
It was
anyone
weird.
else.
But yeah, this record is just bad. It's not as bad as God and Government, but it's still bad.
I think it was it was at This Is Hardcore. I'm 95% sure. They were
Great live band though. We'll give them that.
Yeah.
They were playing the song Dead Last, and Aaron was like, it was the part where he said dust to dust,
Yeah.
and he goes, I smoke dust.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish I remember what year.
He
that
sure
was.
does.
That's the right nice thing to play Dead Last, Dead Last. It's kind of like a built-in closer.
It's a bookend.
Yeah. So it was another song about him coming in dead last.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh.
It's nice to know that he's stretching his wings. Matt also. Oh, do you want to have your notes for this one?
You want me to start?
Yeah, go. I already did Death Threat.
I tried to find this, but Spotify says the artist Hatebreed does not exist, so I had to consult Kazaa.
Oh, I'm also about Death Threat.
Oh,
Did you give your review of the Death Threat album?
yeah,
No.
I sprinkled it in 6 out of 10
Oh.
because I have a soft spot.
Do you want me to start with Hatebreed? No, you might as well just go. I'm sorry.
I already started.
I fucked up.
Concrete. This is the Concrete Confessional.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be good.
Exactly. Although in the past I have heard "Looking Down the Barrel of Today" and I was like, "Hell nah, sis." the songs "Enemies." Wait,
7 enemies.
the song's called "Seven Enemies." 7 somehow got taken out of my note. 7 enemies, but when Hatebreed plays it, there's 5 of my enemies, and they're all on stage. 0 out of 10. Not good.
This record,
It's
I
rap. It's
remember,
rap metal.
was poised to me as a return to form.
Oh boy.
So I was like, all right.
Oh, boy.
The first time I listened to it, and I remember
Oh,
actually listened to it in Matt Bennett's car, and we're like, all right, let's check it out. And I remember both of us just giggling to each other. Hatebreed, Concrete Confessional. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was releasing Satisfaction as Death of Desire and following it up for nearly 30 years of cop jams with lyrics straight out of one of those alpha male seminars. No excuses for this absolute hogwash of music. I'm on a ton of drugs right now, and I'm very angry, and that shouldn't be. There's a song called Looking Down the Barrel of Yesterday. Whoa! Zip out of 10. That shit sucks.
No riffs, no heavy riffs or nothing.
No! It's such like cookie cutter just...
Hogwash
Ugh.
is correct.
And I listen to music on YouTube. It bothers him. But when the playlist,
He's sick.
it had the video for that song, 7 Enemies. And I want to read this to everybody here. This
Are these
it had-
lyrics?
I don't know. I know I sent it to the group. Oh, fuck. I deleted it. But it was, it starts off with these frames. And it's like Hatebreed, this is music is this, blah, blah, blah. It's like a lot of people really like, heavy music. Some people say it's just noise, but we're going to play it anyway. And we're going to play it loud.
Okay.
And then it goes into the song, and it's just like fucking gross.
That's on the album?
It's on the video for that song.
Oh my
you can't
god.
get-
It's just text.
You can't
on the
get more
screen.
cargo shorts than that.
Oh god! And then the song is just
Back up off of cargo shorts, buddy.
like seriously,
Come on.
half the lyrics sound like Alcoholics Anonymous saying. It's just like you can do this. Get up, put your best foot forward.
Make the reparations.
Yeah, just like it's like this fucking.
Do a
sucks.
fearless inventory of yourself.
There before the grace of God go I.
Every time I hear new Hatebreed, I'm just like, was I wrong all those years in the '90s?
You
It's like,
can't gaslight
I was just
yourself.
I was like, does Hatebreed always sucked? And then you're like, so you go back and you listen to Under the Knife, you listen to Satisfaction, and you're like, these are perfect hardcore records. What the fuck happened?
But you didn't like Perseverance? I know the lyrics are
Half
terrible.
of Perseverance. Perseverance
should have been
had
an
about
EP.
5 great songs, and then about 10 horseshit songs. And then occasionally there was other songs on later albums that were really good. I don't remember what record it was on, but it was a song called Straight to Your Face was good. Mm-hmm. And I forget what the other one.
Truth.
Yeah. And it actually had like skank beats in it and shit. And it was this fucking cool.
Healing to Suffer Again rules too.
There's a song called Beholder of Justice that
Yep.
they did.
Mhm.
That's fucking great.
Yep.
But everything else on the record is such horseshit.
Doomsayer?
Doomsayer had that cool breakdown at the end, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, if you listen back to it, yeah, it's hard as shit, but it's like really repetitive and just boring.
It's too long.
Am I allowed to sidebar during this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kingdom of Sorrow. Do you remember that?
Kingdom of Sorrow had they released one track, and then the album didn't come out for another like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
The first song, like I forget what the hell it goes like.
Do you remember? Do you know what Kingdom of Sorrow is?
It's called Buried in Black is the name of the song.
It's
Crowbar and Hatebreed
yeah.
side project.
No, I never even heard of it.
It was Kirk from Crowbar and Jamie Hatebreed and a bunch of studio guys. But they released a song called Buried in Black, and it's super fucking cool. like the perfect mix of both bands. You're like, all right, this is what I wanted to hear. But then the full length came out, and it was just
It's total, yeah.
horseshit.
That sucks.
It fell apart.
Because
I thought they had an EP though before the full length. Didn't
they
they?
have multiple releases.
Oh, they do. Okay.
It's fucking disgusting. But
I may have like just
Disgusting.
I may have
This
just
was-
breezed past promo of it or
this
something.
is also
I
like
don't know.
when Crowbar was releasing really lackluster records.
the
Right.
later stuff.
Yeah.
Like
The one with Cemetery Angels on it
Mm.
was out when this came out.
no, I'm thinking of it way
Yeah.
after that.
It is.
Cemetery Angels is still good.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
But
the albums-
as far as a Crowbar
Yeah.
record, it's
Yeah.
ugh. But it's like I don't understand how a band goes from Satisfaction is the Death of Desire, which is a perfect record,
It's the Bible of hardcore,
and then
pretty much.
and it influenced 1,000 great bands after it, but then they just released nothing but horse shit.
Yeah. What are you gonna
All
do?
the bands they influenced surpassed them 1,000,000 times.
Do you think it's because they took too long to write a follow-up album and they toured off of Satisfaction for so long
7 years.
and got so big
Yeah.
that they're like, yo, being a big band is way cooler than being a good band.
Well, did they switch songwriters? Did that happen?
I thought they did.
I thought Jamie wrote a lot of songs.
I thought at first
Oh, really?
that the early
He
shit,
writes a lot of songs.
I thought the early shit was mostly
It was the one guitar player.
other guys, and because I remember because the dude Boulder that was in Hatebreed for a long time.
What a name.
He also was a part of.
Our names suck.
He was also on the good Death Threat records. He wasn't on Peace and Security, but he wrote most of those
so
songs.
he's a Connecticut guy.
So, yeah. So and those two records rip, and Satisfaction rips, and he was on that. So you're like, oh, I guess it's that guy.
He was
And
probably
then
in the writing room.
He was on Perseverance, but then he died. He left and then died shortly after.
Damn.
Oh,
But
he literally died.
he
Okay.
literally died.
Sorry.
But then it's kind of like I was like, okay, well, so maybe this guy leaving is the reason Hatebreed started to suck. But then I was informed that Jamie Hatebreed wrote 90% of all Hatebreed's music.
He started to write a lot more.
Yeah. So I think
Weird.
his tastes either he stopped giving a shit or listening to hardcore or caring about catering to hardcore and just started doing this weak shit.
Yeah, the thing that would get more money.
Yeah.
More people.
He said many times his goal was for Hatebreed to be the biggest band in the world.
He's also done records for other people. He wrote a D. Snyder record, which sounds like
Huh?
he wrote a record. It was a D. Snyder from Twisted Sister. It's a solo record for him. This is recent. This was in the last 5 years or so. And the record sounds like modern Hatebreed with D. Snyder singing. One of the songs is called For the Love of Metal. It's as douchey as you think. He also is
Fuck yeah.
he's also one of the songwriters on Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse on his solo record.
Interesting.
And the rhythm section for that band is the same guys he used for Kingdom of Sorrow. It's these two brothers. And they're like basically session guys. But yeah, it's him. He's the thing. Cause like I remember being
He's the
excited
reason.
because like I thought Perseverance was weak. And then they got Frank from Ringworm in the band.
And you're like, oh, we'll be
And
fine.
you're like,
We'll
oh,
be
we're
fine.
good. We're good.
fine.
We're going to eat good
Nope.
again, fellas.
Nope.
And then, no.
No.
That's a shame.
Not at
No.
all.
Have they put out an album recently? Ringworm?
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
Ringworm fucking still rules.
Oh yeah, they put it out last year. It was awesome.
Yes, they are fucking fantastic. They're honestly, and it's different. Like, they got way more dark and it's way more.
Somebody assigned
crust-
it to us, actually.
It's way more crusty and it just fucking rules.
It was-
I gotta take that note too.
Yeah.
It was way better than Hammer of the Witch.
Hammer of the Witch wasn't bad.
It wasn't great.
I thought Scars sucked balls.
Scars was
And I was like, all right, Ringworm's done. But then the ones that started coming out after that, when they got like a bunch of new guys,
yeah, the newest
Fucking
Ringworm
rules.
record was great.
it's like something Witch, isn't it?
I don't remember
I
right
don't
now,
remember.
but it wasn't
I'll
Witch.
look it up later, but yeah. Ringworm fucking rips still. And I never been punked out more than the time I was eating with Human Furnace. I was trying to it was a Chicago Fest,
Yeah.
and I was trying to clown on him. We're sitting at Denny's afterwards, and I was just like, so what does your mom call you? Hume? Fern? And I thought I was being hilarious. He's like, she calls me James. And I was just like, oh.
He bodied
really?
him.
I was like, all right.
Dead.
Yeah. And it was funny because
Nice try.
they had a fucking big ass bus. Remember, it was like a Winnebago type thing, and it had a cow skull on the front of it. You know?
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
And Rick DeLife stole it off the front of their
Even
thing
awesomer.
and put it on Rick's ride. And if you remember Rick's ride,
The van.
it's a
horse?
minivan.
Oh,
It's a minivan with that fake wood
the horse
thing on the. You know how like the sides
Slipped it in.
of old minivans had like
paneling.
it looked like wood paneling, but it wasn't. That's what he was driving around in, and it had a cow skull on the front
So
of it because he
awesome.
stole it
What?
from Worm. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
I got it. That's pretty funny.
It's fucking funny, dude. Now, next week, we also ask our guests to take part in this. We ask only that you recommend stuff that isn't your friends of yours, so we can go into it objective.
Okay.
What have you been jamming, Tingle? Genre doesn't matter. Year of release does not matter. Just something you've been listening to lately that fucking rips.
Actually, okay. Something I've really been listening to a lot lately is the recent Trail of Lies release. I've always liked that band.
Yeah.
I really like this record that they just put out. I think it's really, 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 really good. And then what else have I been listening to?
Do you know the name of the record?
Hold on.
Is it a 2024?
Yeah, it's 2024.
I'll find it.
I'll find it.
And then, oh God, what else have I been listening to? I mean,
It doesn't have to be hardcore. It could be any kind of music.
Mudhoney, Tomorrow Hit Today.
Oh, so good.
That album, that's the first Mudhoney album I ever heard.
Really?
Yeah, I had always heard about them because of Nirvana.
Yeah.
And my family was at the beach one day in the middle of winter, go figure.
Yeah.
And I went to a record.
The off season.
I went into a record store, and that was when they had just released that album. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I keep hearing about this fucking band, so I'll go check them out. It's good. It's a really good album.
It's funny. I bought one of their records when I was at the beach too. It was the Since We Became Translucent record.
What'd you think of that?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It's something I wouldn't normally listen to, but I really like them.
Some of their records, I just can't. There's like a bunch of those bands that like they really miss the mark sometimes, but other times it's like this could be on, this could be off, this could be on, this could be on.
Yeah.
Like another band that I think that of is like honestly Helmet. Like I love
It's fair.
certain Helmet records and some Helmet records like. Well, no, I was just say some Helmet records like Monochrome. There are some really good songs in Monochrome, but I can't fuck with the whole album.
Yeah.
You know.
fair. I'm a super fan, but I still I get it.
Yeah, Helmet is your band.
Yeah. And I think if they weren't like my fucking number one, there's a lot of shit they've put out that I wouldn't forgive.
Mm-hmm.
Are they and Unsane interchangeable for you?
What do you mean?
For your number one?
No,
I feel. Oh,
not even close.
okay.
Helmet's number one.
I'm
Yep.
sorry.
I love Unsane. Don't get me wrong. They're in my top 5, but Helmet, dude.
Helmet is helmet.
Yeah.
Helmet is Helmet.
It's a different thing. Different beast.
Helmet.
So which one? Tomorrow Becomes Today or whatever it's called?
Tomorrow hit today.
Tomorrow Hit Today.
And like they have some songs that are a little too honky tonk for me, but for some reason I let it slide with that.
I like that.
Mudhoney.
Yeah.
I like a little tonk.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to Mudhoney? Like, have you ever sat and listened to them before?
It's got some bluesy shit. I think
Yeah.
Greg Pollard,
Long time ago brought it
yeah.
to us. Yeah.
fellow Krishna.
Yeah.
You guys should
A
fucking,
devotee.
Hare
guys should-
Krishna.
you guys should fucking kick it, dude.
I can't believe you don't know each other.
True.
I'm going to guess
You've probably been at
the same place.
you've probably been in the same show
Probably
many
wore
times.
flowing ass clothes together.
We've probably been in the same temple.
I bet you have. Greg's mad chill. He rolls.
Where's Greg from?
Outside of Doylestown.
He lives in Ambler now. I don't know where he's from originally.
We most certainly probably have been in
You
the same
know him.
place.
He was in a One Up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, short guy, glasses.
Yeah.
He sang for One Up.
Yes.
He's also in Go Time.
I don't remember that.
That was the one before that. He was like a youth crew kid.
Yeah.
But he's a fucking
Greg rules.
sweetheart. Yeah.
Sweet.
He's a tiny small man.
See you at the temple, Greg.
Sweet boy. He's a fellow devotee.
Devotee.
Tommy, what do you got for me this week? Oh wait.
We didn't even get into what we signed each other.
Oh fuck my mouth.
Sorry, that was my fault. I sidebarred
No, that
it.
was my fault. That was my fault.
Yeah, you started talking about next week, or
Fuck my
we're about to
mouth.
start.
What, do you want to just finish it while we're here?
You gotta finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I took these notes
Don't give me blue
No,
balls.
let's just give me what you got this week and then
Oh.
circle back.
for comedy. I'm gonna assign you a podcast episode.
Don't do that.
Well, do you like Ryan Foster?
I don't really not 100% familiar with this shit.
Well, he's in the dad meat circle.
Yeah, I know who he is. I'm just not 100% familiar.
Well, his podcast that he does twice a month with Mr. Tubbs, it might be the
Tubbs
might be the funniest podcast coming out of Philadelphia.
Mr. Tubbs. That's like a cat's name.
What's the podcast called?
Workforce Titans.
Workforce Titans.
Episode 3 just came out, but check out episode 1.
I got to expand my comedy podcast.
Maybe even episode 2, but it's so funny because both of them are not comedians. Well, actually, that's a lie.
Brian
Foster's a comedian,
Yeah.
but they're not professional comics.
Right.
And it's funnier than any podcast that's out
Okay.
because they're both like Foster's an electrician, Tubbs is a plumber. Like it's
They got stories.
it's yes,
They got stories.
yes. It's
Okay.
it's job site humor. It's done well.
It's comedians that still have day jobs.
Well, Foster is, yeah, but Tubbs is not a comic at all.
Okay.
He's just hilarious.
He's just a feller.
Hell
Yeah, he's been on Mad Dad Meat episodes too.
You are. What do you got from music wise?
Music, I'm going to give you a record I found today.
Okay.
I've never heard of this band before, but they popped up. The band is called Concrete Winds.
From
Winds?
from
Winds.
Europe, right?
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Self-titled 2024. Very grindy, I'll say that.
I saw some. They had played somewhere, and someone posted about it.
Concrete Winds. Found them today. Thought it was great.
Okay.
Self-titled.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun.
I found all kinds of shit because of this show.
This is been something I've been trying to assign to you for a while. I just keep pushing it to the back of the line. The album I'm giving you is a band called Fuck on the Beach.
The album is that?
That's the name of the band.
Oh, okay.
And the album's called I Have Never Seen Myself. Smelly Kid music. That's all I'll say. And a comedy special I have for you is available on YouTube by a girl named Liz Miele. Liz?
Miele.
Correct. And the special is called Ghosts of Academic Future.
Ghosts?
Ghost.
Okay.
Of Academic
Ghost
Future.
of Academic
Yes,
Future.
it's available on YouTube.
Gotcha.
All right, now let's circle back
Finish up.
because I'm a fucking moron. Oh, I fucking deleted everything.
No. No,
I
you
wasn't
didn't.
paying- I did.
Do you remember?
Yeah, pretty much. What was the name of the fucking record though? I forgot that completely.
Well,
How do I get go back to my notes and get shit I deleted? Do you know how to do that?
not on an iPhone.
Recently deleted. Here we go. It's not coming up. Great. What did you assign me again?
Oh, well, I assigned you the newest Colin Quinn special, Stamps and Tea.
I remember that. What was the music?
I don't remember.
How-
I forgot. I didn't write it down. I gave it to
yeah, you gave it to him. You're right.
You really beefed that.
Well,
This is all going off rails.
well, talk about Colin Quinn, and maybe we'll come back to you.
I doubt it, but
No, Colin Quinn. I've actually listened. I'd listened to it before, and I listened to it again. The first half, the actual special part of it, was kind of half-ass.
you think
Kind of half-baked. It wasn't as thought out and as into detail and as clever. It didn't have as many solid jokes because most of his stuff is like he sets things up as kind of like one-man showish, but it's funny, and it's normally about like a topic, and a lot of it was history-based. But this one was just about pretty much stamps and tea, like the whole Boston Tea Party and shit like that, and like New York, Boston area history. It just kind of wasn't as thought out as his other stuff.
Bless you.
Granted, it was a lot shorter, but it was like funny, but it wasn't laugh out loud funny, and there was no solid like actual hitting jokes to it. And I was just like, it's kind of a bummer. And then the second half, he does like this kind of weird pseudo like walking tour.
Yeah, he took
With, like-
he took the show outside.
Yeah, and like would take him to
What?
places and be like, here's the history of this place, and go into like, what had happened there and just say funny shit about it. But the thing is, the way it's filmed, you can tell that no one can actually hear what he's saying when he's doing it.
Oh,
I don't know if
shit.
it was like during a windstorm or something.
He's
He's
not
saying shit, and people are like kind of looking at him like not following what he's saying.
So is that in and of itself funny?
No,
No, or is it
kind
awkward?
of, but now it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
But also, it wasn't that good of a material either. His other shit, fantastic. This was kind of half-assed, kind of seemed like it was just thrown together. That walking tour part could have been left out completely. And I was fucking bummed because he's on my Rushmore of comedy.
Yeah, he's my number 3.
And it was just kind of...
Sometimes you have duds.
Yeah, I gave it a 3. I just did not like it.
Oh, well.
It was a bummer. You don't remember what music you brought? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. I don't remember what I did earlier today.
That's true. You are a Marblehead.
Well, you also gave me a Colin special, but it was a one-man show, like you talked about, and this is a rewatch for me. Red State, Blue State.
Mm-hmm.
I went to watch it on Netflix, and I remember he's putting old stuff on YouTube now. Thank God. He's my number 3 of my all-time top 5. The reality TV lapel is the real star of the show, or the reality TV lapel mic.
Yeah.
That you can't see, so you can just talk with his hands. I still can't stop staring at that gradient, like red fade on his gingham shirt. Every 700 miles has a different personality. Might be the entire point of the special summed up.
Yeah.
I love that his Trump impression is just Colin Quinn's voice.
Yeah.
Just saying Trump things.
Yeah.
He doesn't do a voice.
Not
he just
even trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
He does do the
He does the
hand things. That's basically it.
The 9-minute closer when he roasted every state was
fucking fantastic.
Amazing. Maryland, you can't steal everyone's accent and then combine them and call that your accent. Arizona, all sand, no beach. That's a litter box.
Which is the one where he's like, what's the show me state? Missouri?
Yeah.
He's like, Missouri, the show me state.
Show me what?
You can't call yourself that and then have nothing to show
me.
us. So fucking good.
Delaware, we're a state.
Yeah.
Sure you are.
Or no. Yes,
Yes, you are.
Oh, the West Virginia one where he's like, West Virginia, running the back roads, moonshine, and it's like the sale of liquor has been legal since
1931.
Yeah.
And as far as one-man shows go, I prefer New York Story, but this is still
New York Story is really good.
It's still a 7 out of 10.
I would recommend that one because first it's great, but it's also he had just re-uploaded it to YouTube because it's original on Netflix, so I was rewatching it, and then you recommended me Stamps and Tea. I was so bummed out by Stamps and Tea that I just rewatched that one.
Pick yourself back up.
I was like, I'll recommend him that
no,
one.
Colin doesn't suck.
Colin
Damn it!
doesn't
What
suck.
did you recommend?
New York Story is still on Netflix though.
Yeah, but eventually I'm sure they'll all come to YouTube.
When the lease runs out.
He's doing a new show on YouTube. I remember what he's calling it, but it's basically the same concept of the second half of Stamps and Tea.
Yeah.
Like the on the street. We're in front of this place. Here's a story about it. Walking down like a block, describing the stories. And each
I've
one's
watched
going to
a
have
bunch of
like
them.
a guest. And that it's interesting, but it's not really hilarious.
It's not comedy.
Yeah.
It's a tour of New York
It's
City.
bummer.
It still is interesting though.
It's a tour of
Yeah.
New York City from the point of view
Yeah.
of a neighborhood kid comic.
Yeah, but
Right.
if you go into it thinking you're going to laugh,
You're more like,
yeah, you're just kind of like, huh.
It's
Yeah.
a chuckly documentary, if anything.
right.
And like the people
First-hand account.
and the people who do it with him is like people from that neighborhood or people like the historians and shit. So it's not like he's doing it with like comedians alike. So yeah,
Clunker.
yeah,
Clunkety dunk.
Clunk and Quentin.
Now you're
Okay.
you guys review stuff. You guys review comedy. You guys review music. Tom, did you know that Dennis was a professional review writer for a website called at one point it was called PAHardcore.com, and then it turned into StereoKiller.com.
I seem to
got
remember
fired.
this.
You got fired?
Did you get
I didn't
paid?
know about that.
How do you get fired? Did you get paid?
No,
Okay.
I got free shit though.
Well, that's
That was like the thing.
pretty chill. I did not know this.
got-
not fully.
Too many people complaining about my reviews.
How?
People send in the reviews.
How?
And if it was bad, I roasted that shit. And too many people like fucking going back because Chris Brickhouse was the guy who ran the site, and who would send me like a package of CDs, and I would go and review them. He's like, I'm getting too many people complaining about the shit they sending in, and the fact to the point to where like the certain labels weren't going to send him anything anymore
Because of you.
because of me. I had
was so funny.
a Hare Krishna devotee threaten me with violence because of my reviews on there. Yeah.
This has to. I think this has come up before. I just don't remember.
It was a guy. We brought up with Greg because Greg actually had the same guy on his podcast. Shout out to the Where It Went podcast.
Where It Went.
Greg interviews a bunch of
Haribo.
all the old Rev bands and the new Rev bands. It's all Revelation Records based.
They go through. They're going through the entire
Revelation Records
catalog.
is still a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, nothing that you would really recognize.
No.
But yeah, it's still going. But it was Victor Cara who played in 108. And he sent this album in. It was this really stupid
It was something he did on his own.
electronic pop record. It was a band he did after 108, right?
I remember this.
But it was like long after 108, and it was like complete and total horseshit, like bubblegum pop with like Moog synthesizers and keyboards and shit.
It sounds
And
pretty
here's
cool.
the thing: when it was not all the CDs you got in, you didn't really get like a jewel case. So you got the CD and like a plastic sleeve, and it would have like a press release with it. The press release all over it was Victor Cara of 108 and Beyond and all the other bands. And I think he was in Burn. It was like all of his like
His credits.
all his credits were on this thing, right? So I reviewed it, and it sucked balls. It was fucking god awful.
And he told the
And I
world about
did.
it.
And Victor Cara went on this huge fucking through my messages on Stereo Killer, calling me a piece of shit and how if you ever saw me, it was on site and all this shit, threatening me. And he's like, "How are you going to judge this based on like it's not a hardcore record, like blah blah blah? Like you shouldn't
Then
like
why are you
judge
listing all your
You
fucking-
shouldn't judge it based on hardcore." I'm like, "Yeah, fine. Then how come the entire press release was just nothing but your hardcore credentials?
Right.
If you wanted it judged on something separate, you would have left all of that out."
You
Yep.
didn't even include your name.
And he didn't. And he just fucking got super mad. And I was like, and this guy isn't just Hare Krishna to like say he's a Hare Krishna. He had his name changed to
Yeah.
like one of those long something Das
Yeah.
names. He always had the fucking
Tilak.
the mark on his
Yep.
forehead. Like he was had the solo ponytail with no other hair thing going on. And he was just got did you have the pony?
I got a little more. No, I got.
You working on it?
There's a patch there.
Fuck yeah. So he was like all in. He
Going
wasn't
for it.
like some fair weather dude who just like said he was. But yeah, he threatened to. He said it was on site if you ever saw me in real life.
Was it swing on site?
Part of that family. But yeah, and like that was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Whatever you do, you better not. I better not catch you in suburban Ohio.
One of the ones I got, one of the ones I remember getting yelled at for was I said I would rather bend over and moon a werewolf with a pork chop in my butt cheeks than listen to this record. And the person doing
good.
it got so fucking
So
mad.
good.
And it was like and the label that put out the record was like, if this is what's going to happen to the records we send him, we're not going to send you records anymore. And then Chris was like, look, man, we got to do other people. John Wren still reviewed for them like up till recently.
Up until it went under, right?
Yeah.
Dude, some of those reviews you wrote, one of them was like, the CD didn't work. You're like, yeah, the disc that they sent me didn't work, so I'm going to review what I had for lunch instead.
You really always have been that guy, huh?
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the other, but it was like the review started out with West Nile, West Nile, West Nile. This song is about the fucking West Nile virus. I'm utterly speechless. The rest of the record actually sucks, but West Nile, West Nile, West Nile. That was the review. That was it.
That's what, like, I think it was more the fact that I wasn't taking some of it seriously. And
What?
getting into,
You think?
like, I wasn't getting descriptive and
you
everything.
kidding?
Like, I would, like, give something, like, a positive review just if the cover was cool. You know? Like, there's, like, I shouldn't have been reviewing records. People wanted it treated like they had sent their record into, like, Rolling Stone.
Right.
Or Spin.
Nope.
And I was just some
Nope.
dickhead. Just, you know, working for my buddies. Fucking
Not
website.
happening.
And, yeah, Chris was, like, we were even talking at one point about me doing interviews and shit.
That would have been fun.
It would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been great.
But Chris was just like, look, man, they're going to stop. Big labels were going to stop sending him shit. I think Victory was threatening to cut him off, and a couple other labels that were huge at the time. And yeah, he was like, look, dude. I was like, I get it.
You're too real, man.
I had got threatened with violence a few times. One was a band called Raunchy.
Whoa.
What did they sound like?
It was like butt rock, like stadium, like Guns N' Roses worship butt rock. Because you wouldn't just get hardcore and metal. You got
everything.
all kinds of shit.
Stereo Killer was a publication website.
So I kept making like, I think I made a bunch of like
I had music on
raunchy puns. Like, it was like my favorite kind of Dorito was cool raunchy Doritos and shit like that. I just somebody saying dumb shit like that. And the kid was like, the guy just, it was a guy. It was actually an adult. It was like calling me like the F slur and shit and all kinds of stuff. And I was just like laughing at it. And
I get the music is like, you know, if you're in a band, you take your music seriously, obviously. But then also like, why would you get so wound up and torn up about that?
I was kind of disrespectful. But I think some of these guys...
It was funny!
I think some of these guys, like, even if it was like, someone was just like...
Apparently not.
I didn't find the record good. I thought it was quite, you know, and actually like was serious about it, but said they didn't like it.
They'll say why.
They would still be like upset that somebody said the record sucked.
Yeah, of course.
As a guy who's just sent out like records to be reviewed and shit, if they're reviewed poorly...
What do you do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna fucking threaten a guy? Then like it's like he's gonna be like, oh okay, then yeah, I like your record now. No, he's still gonna think it sucks, and now he's gonna know you suck too,
and he's gonna tell people about that.
Yeah. So it's like, what's the fucking point of this? So yeah,
goofy.
So still to this day, Vic Car, you're a dork.
108's pretty cool though.
108 fucking rules, and Beyond's good, but like this band didn't last long, and he eventually like positioned back to 108. And I think he even did a Beyond reunion. But he's still part of 108 now, who still plays every blue moon.
Do you ever have trouble when you find out that the people in a band that you love suck?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They can ruin shit for you.
Yeah.
Depending on how they suck. Like...
well, not if they're a punisher, but if they're like a shitty... If they did something shitty to you or someone that you know.
I have thrown out a lot of records, merch, and shit of bands that like either like they go on like, well, like I don't know where they'll go on like a racist tirade, or you find out one of them's a sex offender, one of them beats women, shit like that. I've thrown out shit. I threw out one of my favorite hoodies because of Tom Alderson. He had that thing with that band.
Oh yeah,
many years ago, and I was a huge fan of that band. I'm not going to name them because fuck them.
Yeah,
but I had a sweet ass hoodie too. Fit me nice. It was warm. Shit,
fit you just right.
Shit, right.
Fit you just right.
As a fat man, that's hard to come by. Mm-hmm. But that shit went right in the trash.
And now look at this guy thriving.
I think the only band that honestly I still listen to constantly, even though the singer went off the deep end, is 25 to Life.
Is he out there still? Like being off the deep end?
He's still,
or is he gone?
He's still a weirdo. He lives in Maryland still. He still sets up at the Joppa flea market.
But is he still like an entity within the hardcore scene?
I think he's kind of like a mythical status.
He sells his like records and demos and shit still, but like you got to either go to that flea market he's at and find him. He's just there. He does not like a set schedule, or you got to like get it through mail from him and shit. Like I know people are trying to buy records off of him, and he just doesn't show up sometimes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's still out there. He's still alive. But it was funny because Stickman from Fury 5 recently posted a thing where he made up with the guy. He's just like, he messaged him. He's like, you know, I'm old, you're old. It's stupid to have beef. Like, all is forgiven. And him and Rick are like just fucking hash. Like, oh, I always liked you. I always liked you too. And so Stickman, dude,
anything's possible.
Anybody can say shit about that guy, but him in the recent years, he's just like squashing old beefs. Pointing out shit that he did that was wrong back in the day and being like, hey man, you know, I'm better than that now. He's like actually showing like growth and shit.
I think there's nothing
which compared to a lot of the other like quote unquote hardcore heroes that I had.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are like, Jesus Christ, I can't even deal with you anymore. But him is like, all right, he's fucking an adult and has actually evolved as a human being.
Yeah, man, because what
fucking rules?
What's the fucking point of holding a grudge for 10 years with someone you never see? Yeah, I don't know.
And it was funny because he did it right around a time where like Rick Hate started. It comes back around. Somebody starts dragging up him on a horse.
Yeah, yeah,
and it just gets hammered in. And around a time that happened recently, I guess he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna reach out to Rick the Life and forgive him."
Yeah, because what's the point, man?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because then it's like all these nerds that just dick ride Stickman or whoever.
Yeah,
and just jump on the Rick hate for no reason.
Yeah,
they're kind of like, oh fuck, what do we do now?
They jump on the other wagon.
Yeah, like what? Like that. Now we don't know what to do. We got to think for ourselves for once. It's fucking nuts, but
They say that holding a grudge
But yeah.
is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die.
That's a
Damn,
good
dude.
quote. Love that
is that from
quote.
the Bhagavad Gita?
That's from I actually read it from some book called Inner Engineering by Sadhguru,
Fuck. Dude.
some random dude in India.
Gurus are so badass,
We can be gurus right now.
dude.
Let's go be gurus.
You want to be gurus?
Is that all? Jeremy, thank you for coming.
Harry Bowl.
Harry Bowl, dude. Harry Balls.
Harry Balls.
Harry Bow Gold Bears.
This is a nice place, man.
Yeah,
I could live here.
Tom does.
Tom, do you live in this room though? No.
No.
Or does he? I had a great time.
Well,
Excellent.
I learned
you're always
about I learned about unions.
Yep.
We talked about the X-Files.
That's true.
We sprinkled some things in. I got some things that I got to check out now.
Yeah, dude.
I learned about Mike Sneakers.
Mike Sneakers, Double Burger Avenue, the biggest sandwich ever known to man. Gentle Dentist.
It's a
Yeah.
big fucking sandwich. Dude.
We went to Wolf Cum, Old Kids.
John Hassan does eat wolf cum.
On the gas pumps.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's a good picture, man.
I think I have it still somewhere.
Hey, someone said you look like an owl.
Who?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I love you more than I can say. I love you twice as much tomorrow. Love you more than I can say. Oh, yeah, yeah. I miss you every single day. Why must my life be feel so long? I love you more than I can say. Thank you.